Pandora's box is about to open wide.
Welcome to PB, everybody. We were just talking about the new Ed Gein series on Netflix, amongst other things, and we were talking about how there's three horror movie characters that are inspired by Ed Gein. Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs, who's the one that's like rubs the lotion on his skin and does it whenever it's told. And then you got Leatherface, obviously from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then Norman Bates from Psycho.
Yeah,
we were talking about how Psycho was quite a pioneering horror movie back in the 60s, because it was sort of like one of the first, if not the first, horror movie of its type. You know, there were horror movies before that, like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and some more demonic ones, things like that. But it was the first one where it was almost like that slasher serial killer, demented psycho.
Slasher one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Where obviously it's that's a really well-known genre now. Obviously you've got Halloween, Scream obviously is a big one. Friday the 13th, even though he is sort of demonic, or he is a monster. He's definitely supernatural, isn't he? But then again, so is Michael Myers. But I think that's almost part of the fun of it. Is it's
Freddy Krueger.
It's almost, well, I don't know. He's more of a monster, I'd say, wouldn't you?
No, I think he's a bit of a slasher.
But he comes for people in their dreams. Do you know what I mean? That's strictly supernatural, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A psycho can't just appear in your dreams and kill you in your dreams.
People in their dreams.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah, he does, doesn't he?
So creepy.
That's his whole thing. He's not actually in the real world. He got killed.
Freaks me out, the dream one.
Yeah. And then but it's
that guy.
Which one? What guy?
Do you remember we talked about it on the pod before?
Oh,
and
yeah.
It was that weird guy that
Bullwinkle
turns
show.
up in everyone's dreams, and they had that face, and it was this weird looking face, but so many people would
I've never seen him.
Bit of a frog looking man.
Strange.
I remember that. We talked about that years ago, didn't we?
Yeah.
And it was it's the amount of people around the world.
Didn't Bullwinkle bring him up the other week as well? He showed the photo.
He might have done. I think it was Bullwinkle that actually shared the photo of him originally. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Years ago when we talked about it. But isn't that weird? And also how in sleep paralysis, how there's three common tropes. There's the man with the hat. There's the old hag, which apparently is where even the term nightmare comes from, because it's a mare that visits you in the night. And then there's the more devilish demonic one that's usually depicted as just a black figure with horns or whatever. But that's creepy, isn't it?
And I've never seen any of them.
Paralysis last night.
Meg did.
Because she couldn't sleep. Ruben was being an absolute nightmare last night. So Meg just got up, and her mum lives down the road, and she just went to her mum's to sleep at 2 a.m. because he wouldn't sleep with her around, if you know what I mean. It was really bad. And then I just slept with him in the bed, and he was asleep all night then.
That's so weird, isn't it?
When she got to her mum's, at 2 a.m. all night then, she had sleep paralysis, and
no way.
had to get Rupert to go with her and that, and but yeah. And she
Did
said
she say what
happened? Yeah, she said, cause, when you get it, I've had it before as well. This is what it felt like to me. It's your whole body vibrates. You get this weird vibration all through your body, and you can't move it, but your mind's awake, but your body's asleep, and this weird vibration thing happens. So she said she was having that loads, and then she could see this woman in the room, an old woman.
Oh, she got visited by the nightmare.
The nightmare.
She got visited by the hag. Did she say what she looked like, or not really?
She said she wants, which was surprised me. Usually when stuff like that happens, it's real freaking. It's they want to do you harm. But she said she didn't feel it was malevolent.
Mate, that's mental. Because when I had it, when I was a 17-year-old, yeah, that's
yeah,
weird. I felt full malicious energy.
I've never had one.
Which
before.
is why I thought maybe it was not the nightmare, and maybe it was just an old woman ghost, a gran or something that was just in the room with her or something.
Yeah. Be interesting to ask her if she can remember details of what she was wearing or anything, or what colour, Because when I had the first time ever of sleep paralysis, luckily I've only ever had it twice, or sort of 2.5 times. The first time it was proper, almost she looked like the antagonist out The Ring or something. Just almost really long, greasy, dark hair, and almost like a really old-fashioned, almost Victorian, almost white nightie, almost as you can imagine. And that was horrible. I just felt this really oppressive feeling. and like just like slowly creep in towards me, and it was like proper like horror movie style. And I was like I was like living out a horror movie. It was like freaking awful.
Horrible.
I remember I was like
Yeah, I
sweating
really had the
profusely.
vibration thing happened with me. It was like I got proper vibe, like my whole body like just on the bed.
I remember
like,
I was like that, but I think I was causing it from trying to move rather than it just happening. Do you know what I mean? Like rather than it just
'cause
happening.
I felt that, and then I was trying to squeeze my fists together, but
Yeah, I
I
was
didn't
doing
get
that.
any sense of anything around me or anything like trying to get me. I was just like, what the freaking.
Oh,
out
you're
was
lucky.
feeling
So
was
you
just
didn't.
Vibration.
It's almost like you
And
were
then all of
feeling
a
it, but you
sudden
weren't
I did that
hallucinating.
and woke up.
You didn't get the hallucination part, which is good.
No.
I've never had it, and
You've
I
never
hope
had
it
it,
stays that way.
Yeah, some
I've-
people just never have it in their
I've
lives.
had
yeah.
like the feelings of people touching me in my sleep, like on my back. I used to dream of being like stabbed. Like in my dream, I'd get like stabbed, and then I'd wake up on my back, exactly where I got stabbed, would be in like absolute agony. Like
Wow,
it really
I've
hurt,
never-
and I'd
I've
like
never
feel
had
it
that.
like
From a
physically
past life.
stab me. It really hurt.
I've never had that before.
But it used to like mainly be my back. But if I say I got like stabbed or like injured or punched or something in my dream, I'd feel it in real life. So whether I was
That's
punching
mental.
myself or something, I don't know.
Weirdo.
Apparently I talk in my sleep. so-
When I was little, I had a weird thing on my back as well. Like dream. Like it's not like a. I never had a dream of being stabbed, but I always had this weird like thing that was like the thought of anything like touching a certain point in my back was just made me like proper cringe, and like there was a pain there all the time, and I always wondered if that was like something from like a past life or something, you know.
Yeah.
Who knows,
They
mate?
say
an
don't they say that
abnormal-
like your beauty marks and like freckles and that is
Or like
where
birthmarks.
like
Yeah,
no
Usually
like beauty.
birth-
I thought it was beauty
birthmarks.
marks.
Usually it's
Is
birthmarks.
it birthmarks?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
usually
I don't have
birthmarks.
any.
You
That's
must.
not fair.
can be relating to.
No, I had a Mongolian blue spot when I was
wounds.
born.
Sorry, what was that, Drew?
Like birthmarks can relate to wounds from
Yes.
past life.
Yeah,
how
like
you
where
died,
you
yeah.
were killed or something.
Don't like beauty marks relate to where your past like lover used to kiss you or something like
I
that?
don't really know what a beauty mark is. I'm not gonna lie. What's a beauty mark?
Like a freckle,
Aren't-
like
aren't-
there, like
Aren't they?
like
Yeah,
that.
That's-
or little
it's-
moles.
Is that just like a
Like a
mole?
Well, it's not like a lump.
Yeah, but I don't think a
Aren't
mole
moles lumps?
has to be a lump,
It's
does
a,
it?
come on, make me feel better. It's
You
a
can
beauty
have
mark.
you can have a big like lumpy horrible mole, or you can just have a chill mole. Like I'm not like a lumpy moley
Hairy
person. Like I'm really freckly, as you can see. My arms are like covered
Yeah.
in freckles.
Me too.
But I do think I have the odd mole mixed in, which I can tell because it's like a bit bigger and a bit darker. But it's not like a lumpy one. Do you see that
Okay.
one there?
I've got a
Yeah, well,
few, like-
apparently
I've
they're
got a
like
few
when
lumpy
where
ones.
they used to
So
kiss you.
that's what you call a
apparently.
beauty mark.
Yeah, it's a
That's
beauty
such like a-
mark. It's such a nice one.
Drew's just getting fully naked. Oh, is that your beauty mark, Drew? That's from where an
That's
ex.
a lumpy mole, that is.
That's
a
from
full
where.
lumpy mole.
That's from where in a past life, Drew's lover like just gave him a little.
Kissed him so
just gave him a
much
little
that
nip.
just-
Just
yeah.
little.
Then you saw the mole and
Yeah.
the rolls.
Just gave him a little. Just gave him a little kiss right under the armpit. Little tender kiss.
I don't get the birthmark one though. I don't have a birthmark.
Wait a minute. Get back to the beauty spot a minute. If that is true, did you say it's where like a lover kissed you?
Yeah,
Why
are they
would your
kissing
lover
my eye?
kiss you frickin' eyebrow? It was dark and they just missed.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
no, maybe.
Well,
Maybe I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. But the birthmark one, I don't have a birthmark. I
Maybe
was
it's your
born-
first life.
I was born with
I
a
thought I
maybe.
did it, and then I found it.
I was born with a Mongolian.
I don't know why, but that was like a really funny comment.
I found
I thought I
it.
did, but then I thought I didn't, but then I found it. Found it one day. Where was it, man?
Oh.
Was it on your ass cheek or something? So it was
No,
hard.
it's just on like the inside of my leg.
Oh, right.
I'm like, how did I never notice that before?
Apparently, I've got like a really faint one, like right
Yeah.
in the back of my head, in my hairline.
Oh.
But
That
I've
makes sense.
but, like-
you know, you could get stabbed.
yeah,
in
if
the
I was
head
in a
something
battle or something and someone
or I
hit
could
me
have took
over,
an arrow to the leg that like
Yeah,
that
an arrow to
killed
the
me 'cause
knee.
It was like in inside of my thigh, like you know.
yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
living my
Yeah.
first life, guys.
Mangy.
So that's why I don't have one.
yeah. Well,
I
maybe.
was born with one. It was a Mongolian blue
You
spot.
do have
so
a
it was like
very-
a big blue one. It's
Yeah.
what like
Yeah.
I think
Mongolian goose.
What the
there's,
hell
like,
is a
certain
what the hell
cultures
is a
that have it.
Mongolian goose spot?
No, Mongolian blue spot.
Oh,
Mongolian goose.
Let me search up the definition.
I've never heard of a Mongolian blue spot
Have you
before.
not? Wait.
Something to do with Genghis Khan, is it?
Mongolian... Oh, I didn't spell that right. Hang on 1 second. Let me find it.
MONGOLIAN.
Blue.
What are you looking for that?
I'm not
Oh,
patronising
search
Imogen.
that.
She's
No, it's alright.
she's is it
Dyslexic.
dyslexic? I
Yeah.
almost said autistic then.
I've just got loads of learning
She's
difficulties.
disabled, guys. So
Yeah.
I'm helping her out. No,
Um,
yeah, dyslexic. That's the one.
So, Mongolian blue spot. It's a spot that's also known as as a slate grey nevus or
Nevis.
something. Yeah, it's
Evie had a strawberry
but
Nevis
it's
when she was
benign
born.
and it's flat and it's a birthmark with wavy borders and an irregular shape. Mine was literally blue.
No way.
And it's usually
So you
from
had a
certain
blueberry on you?
it's usually from certain cultures.
Look at that. Like what?
Like
what?
so like a lot of mixed race babies have it, or African, East Asian,
You do look a bit
Asian,
Italian.
all of them have it. It's not like it's very rare to be
Maybe you're not
someone who's fully
dyslexic.
white.
Maybe you just want to speak Italian, so it's hard for you to speak English. You're like, this isn't your first language. So if that's the case, your English is fantastic. So
Thank you.
she's not dyslexic. She's
yes,
Italian.
we figured
I've
it
cracked
out.
Casually.
Yeah,
It
we've
was
got,
all across my lower back though, like when I was little, and then it
Was
just
it?
faded after a couple of months.
like blueberries on your back.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
daughter had a strawberry Nevis,
Yeah.
but it was like it's faded now. It's completely gone.
Yeah.
So it's-
Mine was like a one just huge
So did Naya,
thing.
mate. Naya had one on her face. Remember? That's called a strawberry Nevis.
Oh yeah.
Evie's one was like on her chest, but it's gone now. It like disappeared by the time she was about 3. But I remember Naya had one on her face, but that just disappeared as well, didn't it?
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm like, oh yeah, but I can't actually remember that.
I can't really remember what it looked like, but I remember that Naya had one. Do you know what I mean? Because I remember like almost like the first time I met Naya, I was like, what's that on her face? And I think it was like your mum or Sherelle explained it to me, and I was like, oh right. And then when Evie was born, and I was like, oh, what's that? And I was like thinking, oh yeah, I was thinking, oh, it's weird that like Evie's got that because I didn't even know that was like a thing before, like I saw Naya. Do you know what I mean? So then it was like weird that it was just like
Yeah, Nevis, strawberry Nevis.
Yeah, but except for Imogen had a blueberry Nevis.
A blue spot, just like a huge like thing.
I love
on my
that you
back.
called it a Mongolian blue spot.
That's what it's called.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's so-
my
that's
my
so
mum
exotic.
taught me this
I wonder why Mongolian.
Yeah, that's
because it's mainly from Mongolia. It's
So
like,
you do you reckon you have
that's
some
where
like
they find it the most.
you reckon you
there
have some
must be
Asian background?
there must be some like
Have you
something
done a
like
DNA
that.
test yet?
You should do a DNA test.
I haven't, but
That's interesting.
is it my dad or is it my granddad did it? One of them did it, and they were basically all places from England. So
Right.
I was just
It
confused.
comes out different in different. Your brothers and sisters could have completely different to what you have. It's like
Suppose.
whatever
'Cause
comes
you're
out
like
on your DNA.
It's your like a pick and mix of all the DNA that
Yeah.
comes from your ancestry.
Yeah.
I might have to do it.
Yeah, and it could be a certain one more than others. It's really weird how it works.
I think it'd be cool to do because
Mm.
I've got a lot of different features to my parents. Like my parents have got one of them's got blue eyes, one of them's got green eyes, and I've got really dark brown eyes.
That's really
And
weird.
my dad was blonde, and when he was little,
So you're adopted.
and my mum
You're
had
adopted
my
by
mum had
Mongolian.
like brown hair, but my hair's like really dark. I've also
Yeah, you look full on
usually-
Italian.
Not right now, but I've usually got really dark skin as well, quite dark skin.
Your skin is very olive though.
Yeah,
You're not like full
and
on
my
white boys like me and
parents
Drew.
are like reflective, like white,
There
like
you
so
go. It's
white.
funny how it
So
can
I
come
don't
through in
know
your
like
DNA.
yeah.
I can tell just from looking at you that if you went on holiday, you would get like a really bronze complexion.
I
Whereas
do,
me and
yeah.
Drew just have the complexion of like the inside of a Greggs sausage roll. Do you know what I mean? Not even like a good sausage roll. It's just like
undercooked ones.
just a little bit like undercooked pork. That's what our complexion's like, you know? Like we're not gonna go tanned. We're just gonna go like a bit red. We're like our default is sort
Lobster.
of like whitey pink, and then it'll go from that to like pinky red in the sun. Do you know what I mean? Like
I go like really nice and brown whenever I get tanned. It's lovely. When I come back from Thailand, just wait, I will be like a different person. Yeah, I'll be like
I'm like,
revived.
who are you?
Yeah, who's that? Get away from the studio.
You used to, considering you are actually got very for the most part sort of pale features, Drew. You did go through quite a phase of being convinced that you had some black dick blood, didn't you?
I do go really brown. I do go brown as well. Like,
Oh, do you? I
yeah,
stand
I did
corrected.
when I was younger and stuff. But apparently, that's
Yeah,
what my
Calum
mum
never
said
knew
anyway.
that.
Right.
But yeah, I generally look just really white now. Like, yeah.
You look
He's lost it.
but say like Meg, when you look at Meg, like she's like really white.
She's almost like
I
one of those
even
people that's-
though
yeah.
I'm like that looks proper white.
Yeah.
But like when you put my arm next to Meg's, it's like a different shade of white. Like hers looks like white.
She's
but
like
mine
milk.
Looks like
She's like milk.
yeah. But
Your
like,
Greggs sausage roll, she's
I
milk.
look like I should tan. You know.
You like you
Like a
should
bit.
tan.
Yeah.
But you do.
Yeah.
Well, I should
sounds
tan.
weird, but you know what I mean?
But you don't.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Meg's like one of those people who, like, it's like my M's friend Lisa's like this as well, where it's almost like if they were any paler, they just look albino. Do you know what I mean? They're like borderline
And then
albino.
when she tries to tan, she'll literally just go red and then peel.
Oh,
And
mate,
just
that's exactly what I'm like. Yeah.
My dad only gets like, my dad just goes out in the sun and just turns red like straight away.
Yeah.
He's like, he's got like a really, really tanned neck, and he's got a bald spot there that's always red. And
Nice.
then he's got
Solid
like a
look.
tanned face and tanned arms,
Right.
and his legs are just so pale, like
Yeah.
really, really pasty white, like really pasty white.
Always makes me laugh at my old man because he's always been like a tanner. And like, even though he was like, if you see pictures of him when he was younger, he was like pale, but he's put on so much, like he loves like just
tanning beds
sunbathing.
and stuff.
And he used to actually have a tan in bed. I remember in my house when I was
Yeah,
younger.
my mum did as well.
And he'd always put on that, like, I can even like picture the frickin' the tub of it. I don't know if you can still get it, but it was in like a bronze tub, and I think it was like
Pisbuin.
huh?
Is it Pisbuin?
It might have been. It was almost like a sun cream, but it was also like a bronzer.
Oil.
Oh, a bronzing
And
oil, tanning
he used to
oil.
put that on. And over the years, he has built up like a tan skin through sheer like just.
I use bronzing
Determination.
oil.
But then it's really funny because like if I'd ever like see him like get out the bath or like it change in the change rooms when I was younger or something, he'd still just have the whitest, palest ass. So it was just like really comical. Do you know what I mean? Because like the rest of his body would be like so dark, would be like so tanned. And like almost like when you see like a brown cow or something, but then he would just literally just have like this whitest, palest ass, and it would just be really comical. Do you know what I mean? Almost like he was wearing pants or something.
Apparently, if you eat carrots, like raw carrots, that can help get you a tan.
Raw carrots.
Raw carrots.
Why is
Which
that? Then?
make you orange.
No
and it makes
clue.
it look like you got tan.
I think it's because of the like vitamins or something.
Vitamin
in it.
A.
Yeah. It
Vitamin
just
A is really
helps
good for your
it
eyes.
helps you
That's
tan.
why that's saying like
That's probably why I can't see in the dark.
Orange because he drank loads of
Sunny Delight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the drink Sunny Delight?
No.
So when we were
Oh
younger, yeah, it shows that's like
my
a
gosh.
isn't that funny? That's like a generational thing.
Yeah.
I didn't think
How
that she'd
big
know it
that was.
because it was like a flash in the pan, wasn't it? It was like
Yeah.
probably like the
But it
biggest
was
drink.
Such a big flash.
Oh yeah, it was like the biggest drink in like the UK for about 3 years, and then it almost just like disappeared. But
Oh.
basically, it took the UK by
bad for you.
storm. What did you say, man?
I think because it was like so bad for you, innit? Or
Yeah.
Didn't it get banned or something?
Yeah, I think it did get banned. Yeah, because it had all these like coloring agents in it and stuff that literally would like turn your skin orange.
Oh, that's
and
not good.
and it was full of sugar and nasty stuff as well. So it looked almost like orange juice, right?
Yeah.
But it was called Sunny Delight. And I think it was one of those scam things where at first they almost like sold it like it was like a healthy drink, like they put vitamins in it and that, a little bit like kids cereals. And it took the world by storm. And like I remember like when we and Drew were in school and that, like, you know, the fridges would be like full of it in the canteen and stuff.
Okay.
And people were like
My
getting like
nan always
addicted to it. And I remember like it was a nice drink. Don't you think? Like it was like in terms of flavour, it was nice. Like
There was like Florida one and a
that's right, California one. I think the Florida one had like an orange lid, and then the California one had like a yellow one. I don't really know what the difference was supposed to be between them because I can't remember if there was a taste difference. But anyway, there was this story. This one lad, he like became obsessed with it, and he like would drink nothing but it, and then he literally like his skin turned like orange,
Oh my god.
like a Oompa Loompa.
Like
so I think
Donald
his
Trump.
So his parents like tried. Maybe that's why he's orange. Maybe he just drinks like a Sunny Delight. He's got a secret stash. But yeah, I think it's like
Maybe
parents.
he is that kid.
Maybe he is the kid growing up. Yeah, maybe he is. Yeah.
Crazy.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I think his parents ended up like sewing and stuff, and then it came out that like all the ingredients in Sunny Delight were like super bad for you. and
Ah,
so yeah, it's like
I've never heard of that. No, that's cool though.
yeah, it's like one of those things. Like
Not for
literally,
him, but
everybody like over the age of like 27 will know exactly what we're about because I said Sunny
he still
Delight was
orange?
super. The
like to
lad?
this day.
I have no idea. Imagine like just Google that. Whatever happened to the Sunny Delight kid? Shall I Google it?
It'll probably come up.
I'll Google it just out of interest. What happened to the Sunny Delight guy?
I'm glad that fruit shoots aren't like that because I love fruit shoots. That's what's in my Taco Bell cup. Fruit shoot.
The child in the widely reported 1999 incident who drank excessive amounts of Sunny Delight did not suffer any long-term harm with her skin. Oh, it was a girl. With her skin returning to normal within weeks after consumption of the beta-carotene-rich drink. Okay, that's cool. So she stopped drinking it basically, and then within like 3 weeks, she went back to normal. The condition, known as carotenemia, occurred because the beta-carotene added to the drink to enhance its colour, cause the skin to turn yellow and orange, similar to the effect of eating too many carrots. Oh, so that can actually happen if you eat too many carrots. You imagine that, just ODing on carrots so you go orange.
What if they put like a bright like green mix thing in it instead of orange? Would they have turned orange instead, like green instead?
Well, I don't think it's not as simple as that, because it's like they turn orange because of the beta carotene.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean? So you'd have to have a substance that was like had a similar chemical reaction in your body to the beta carotene. But it says the incident led to negative publicity and a decline in sales, with the product eventually being reformulated and rebranded as Sunny D. With the
it's still available now.
Yeah, and it says that the beta carotene was removed from its current formulation.
What does Sunny D look like?
It just looked like it was just like in a plastic tub and it like a plastic container, and it just looked like orange juice. Like in terms of how it looked.
Yeah, I have seen that before.
It just looked like orange juice pretty much, but it was like fully processed rather than just obviously being squeezed out of an orange.
I think I have seen of it before.
Yeah.
I haven't ever had it, but I've seen it.
Yeah, it's mad that you can still get it. Yeah. It looked a bit different to that back when we were kids, like, you know, slightly different branding, but more or less the same. Yeah, that's crazy. How the hell did we get onto that from, we was like started talking about like Ed Gein and stuff, and then somehow we got onto
because we talked about
Sunny
nightmares.
Nightmares. How did that go?
And then we went to beauty marks and like birthmarks.
How did we get onto beauty marks from that? Do you know what I mean?
I don't know.
I have no idea sometimes how we branch off the way we do.
No.
I've
It
just
makes
ate
sense
a
to
whole
us.
bar of dairy milk Biscoff, and it's so good.
I like the way you said that, Drew, was like we're like Alcoholics Anonymous, and you just like had a confession. Right,
so
guys,
bad,
I just want to tell you guys, I just ate a whole bar of
Chocolates Anonymous.
What was it, man? Sorry, what did you eat a whole bar of?
Dairy milk
Yeah.
Biscoff.
Mate,
that sounds
in
lush.
about half an hour, if Drew goes fully hyper and then crashes towards the end of the show, you know why. He's going to be like, he's going to start like buzzing and going nuts.
I have 2 little squares, but I've just ate the whole bar.
I was watching you. I was watching you munch it. As we were talking, he was there in the bottom corner just eating it.
That's so funny. I'm such like a typical bloke. I just didn't even realise that he was doing that.
It's got to be done sometimes, isn't it?
It's alright. I drank a whole like drink thing from Taco Bell fruit shoot. I've drank 2 of them in like less than half an hour. So
did you?
That sugar, man.
Man,
Sugar.
I go
love
like
fruit
crazy
shoots.
with stuff if I have like stuff like that. I definitely do go like super hyper and stuff. So I
I don't think I do. I think I go more tired once I've had loads of sugar than
just
I do.
crash.
Yeah,
I don't know. You are.
crash.
I think you're naturally like fairly hyper though.
Yeah. I think I've got something like
You're like a Jack
slightly,
Russell.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
I've
mean?
got something slightly wrong.
You're like a little Jack Russell.
All
you
my
are.
friends in secondary school
High
were always
energy.
convinced that I had like ADHD or something, but I don't think I do.
Just ignore it. Just ignore it.
I've got dyslexia and that's enough for me.
Yeah. That should be like if you ever write an album, that's what it's called.
I've got dyslexia and that's enough for me.
You looking all like whimsical out the window on the front on like a
That's
train,
enough for me.
and then it's
Or
like
it's me
and then
reading
it's
the
like
book.
Imogen, but Imogen's spelt wrong. That's like yeah. You know, I was telling you guys about that surgeon who like they were like a nurse walked in on like that surgeon like
Yes.
having sex with another nurse while he was like mid surgery, and the person was just like opened up. Did you know that he didn't even like lose his license over that?
What? Is it because they don't have enough doctors?
Yeah. So he was allowed to keep on practicing.
That's mad, isn't it?
Isn't that mental?
That's how bad like we are with like not having enough doctors.
Apparently, they figured out afterwards that his patient that he like left on like the bed, like right where he was banging this nurse, he like left him like that for like 8 minutes, just like opened up. That's like gross.
He was
Opened up.
That's like gross negligence, surely.
How did he not lose his license over that? That's just mental.
Got a picture of him here, look. That's him. So if you ever go to like the hospital,
Oh yeah, he looks like the type of guy that would do that.
he does, doesn't he?
What does that mean?
I don't know why.
That's right, mate. I agree, Drew. I'm not even saying. If you ever go to the hospital, people, and you need surgery,
out.
and then you walk in and that's the
People
doctor,
with beards.
ask for somebody else. All right? Say, oh yeah, mate, I know what you're up to. I don't want you fricking accidentally jizzing in my open wound. Well, yeah, I'm trying to be like, have
Hey,
some.
do you reckon if he did that and it got straight into like your uterus, do you reckon like you get pregnant from it?
Well, you'd have to have a very specific operation, wouldn't you? That opened up your uterus.
What if you were having like a hysterectomy or something like that,
Yeah, but they take it out.
No, but what if like before that they just opened you up and before they started you went and did that and then a bit of it got in there? Would she get pregnant?
No, because they take the uterus out when they...
No, but what if they hadn't taken it out and they just forgot they were supposed to take it out and just said...
Yeah, but how would they forget that they were supposed... All right, all right, okay. I guess this is extremely hypothetical. I'm probably trying to be like overly logical with this.
The one time...
Right, so basically, if you opened up a woman and then jizzed on her uterus, could she get pregnant? Is that what you want to know, Imogen? I don't feel like I'm qualified to answer this. I don't know. Let us know, guys. What do you think? Do you think that
I go
if
into
you
college and ask my teachers?
go to like whoever like the most like medical...
Luke Chard Maple.
Luke would definitely not know. He'd like know. He'd like be like, mate, if you
tried it once, mate.
yeah,
Don't work.
Luke, if you like cut open...
He'd probably wonder as well.
Yeah, he probably... it's a great
I
question.
wonder.
I reckon Luke would appreciate that question. Oh, mate, didn't it? Oh, mate, didn't it? Didn't it, mate?
Oh, bless them.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to find some sort of like doctor and... Some sort of doctor. Some sort of doctor.
The type of doctor that does that.
I did say to Drew, he looks a bit like a GP today. Don't you think, guys? For anybody that's...
Well, I'll tell you. Yeah, no, it'll work.
Yeah. Drew actually knows just because he put a jumper on over his shirt. So if anybody that's watching on YouTube and Spotify, don't you think that Drew looks a little bit like a GP today? Like if you just randomly went into the GP and it was like, oh yeah, your normal doctor's not available today, but we've got Dr. Armstrong to see. And then he walked in and he was like, hello, yes, please tell me about your genital warts. And that would be Drew. I always think, to be fair, I think like GPs get like quite a bad rap, but I think to be fair to them, their job, like, I know it's all relative, but they must have like a fairly hard job because...
Are they the one that looks at like privates all day and like...
No, a GP is a general practitioner. So like, you know, if you went to like just any doctor's, like a doctor's surgery...
What's the one that does like the woman's thingies?
Where's your gynecologist?
I got them confused.
So where's your doctor's surgery?
Where the opposite place of where we are now, the other key.
East Key.
Yeah, there
right.
you are.
That was like the most hilarious way of explaining it. The opposite key of the key we're at now. Right.
Which one?
Yeah, so like if you went to see a doctor there, that would be a GP, a general practitioner. Because what general practitioners do, they're like the jack of all trades of doctors essentially.
Okay.
So they are not specialists, but if they then thought something was really bad, they would refer you to a specialist.
Oh,
so say if you had a problem with your heart, no, they're not useless, but like say like they would know enough, say, to know if you needed to then be seen, or at least they should be on paper. Obviously, like all jobs, some of them are rubbish, some of them are good.
Okay.
But like on paper, they should know enough to know whether you should then be like okay, or like take this or whatever, or whether you should then be referred to a specialist. So like,
is that why they never properly know what's wrong with me?
Probably. So if like you had, if you had a problem with your heart and you said, okay, these are my symptoms, then they might get you to have some tests, and then depending on what the test came back, they might say you need to see a cardiologist. So that'd be like a heart doctor essentially. Yeah. Or like a neurologist would be like a brain doctor.
Yeah.
Or orthopedics would be like bones.
Yeah.
You know, anything like that. Gynecologist would be like the vaginal canal. Or what would you call it, Dr. Drew?
The lady garden.
That's the technical term. Imagine if you went to a doctor and they refer to it as that. Well, I think that your lady garden is in dire need of some attendance.
Shasha.
I've got a gardener friend. I will refer to you.
The mini mouse.
He's very good at trimming bushes. But,
yeah, it was when I was a baby. It was always Pashasha or Lula.
Mine was a mini.
Pashasha.
Yeah, which is Maltese for.
Is it?
Lady garden.
Oh, yeah. My parents always used to call it just Minnie Mouse.
Or like, you know, they were from like that's what they always called it.
I like that.
And it was like
I like that. Pashasha.
That's so fancy.
I like it. I like it because I've never heard it anymore. I think that it's the fact that it's unique gives it value in my mind.
Yeah.
Because I think mini is a common one, and so is like Twinkle Cave. I use that one with Evie.
Twinkle Cave.
Clean your Twinkle Cave then. You know, she's in the bath and she's just splashing about, but you're like, you know, you want her to actually give herself a good scrub before she gets out. Come on, clean your Twinkle Cave. You know, yeah.
The
I can't
fairy
believe
garden.
the first person that ever touched my balls was a GP.
Was he?
That was such a random thing.
How did you feel about that, Drew? How did you feel about that?
Oh man, it was so horrible.
Yeah.
Dr. McAdam. I remember I got sent home.
He remembers the name and everything.
Dr. McBullbag. Yeah.
And literally, like, I had a real bad stomachache, and I remember just being like.
And he was like, "I know what you need. I need to tickle your balls." I know it would make you feel better.
Let me touch him.
Friggin' embarrassing. Like, got to the doctors, and he was like pressing on my stomach and that. And you know, like when you get kicked in the gonads, you can like really feel it in the stomach.
Yeah,
so
like
I don't know
resonates.
whether it was something because it's connected in that way or something. But next thing, I'm lying on the.
Who kicked you in the balls,
man?
man?
My mum's literally in the corner of the room there, and like he just goes, I'm just going to feel your testicles, and he just like pulled my
And he gave him a tickle.
down, and I remember 2 hands, and it was like
Oh my god, like he's milking a cow.
I
Like-
was just like, what the hell is going on?
He
Like,
gave the testicles a tickle.
Milking your little grapes.
anything, and I'm like, no. And he's like, okay, yes, not that then.
What? So like what? So he was squeezing
And
them
my mum
to
was in
see.
the corner of the room giggling like.
I
and
bet.
was like, what the hell
I
is
bet she
this?
was giggling at your
Oh,
mortified
so
face.
embarrassing. Yeah. So.
That was
I
the
think I was
first.
probably like 13 or 14.
Yeah,
or
that was the
something.
first
It was
foreplay
like,
you'd ever had, man.
Yeah, man.
Dr. McAdams.
Yeah.
Tickling your balls.
So
You
embarrassing.
always
And
start
basically,
somewhere.
What I had was just real bad constipation.
Oh.
I remember
chronic
you've always had that bit, haven't you? I remember when we went to
A little
Cornwall
bit, yeah.
to Trianon Bay.
It's because my diet was so bad when I
Yeah.
was young. I've got a real good everything now because my diet's so
Yeah,
much better.
yeah.
I don't eat any
Just coming from the guy that just ate a whole, you just ate a whole friggin' bar of biscuit
I have
chocolate,
got like
like a whole
so
friggin' like
My
mad.
diet's
It's
so
my
much
diet is
better.
so good.
It's so good.
What I eat mostly is like just cooked food, like meat and vegetables
Yeah,
and stuff,
yeah, yeah.
and like
The odd
with
bit of
an
Biscoff.
occasional pizza.
Yeah.
But like sourdough pizza,
Yeah.
or you know, a
Couple
bit of
chocolate
crisps and chocolate,
bars.
but not like processed like ready
Yes.
meals or like pizzas or crap or
Yeah,
Brussels
yeah,
burgers
yeah.
and that. But I was eating all that when I was younger, and like I think that I had some health issues, more like just like real lethargic in my like when I was younger and that as well. I was always tired and didn't know why. And I think it was my diet that I was having back then, because like my parents have just never been like that, like but you know it's
Health,
totally
yeah.
just everything off the shelves in the supermarket.
Yeah, my
like,
parents
you
were
know,
exactly the same in that regard. Like, you know, like
yeah,
we'd eat like a
I don't know, I
wide
think
variety of
that's
stuff, but
sensitive stuff.
it wasn't like health based at all, which is like very different than like my household now. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's really important to make sure your food tastes nice. So I make sure my food always tastes really good. But it's like but it's like
Clean.
all whole foods and stuff, and I just don't really feel the need at this point in my life to just be like, every time I have like a healthy meal, to then have like some chocolate or some sweets or some desserts. Like some people, it's almost like normal. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, what's for dessert or something? I don't have dessert. Like, you know, like every now and again, if
I only do that if I'm still hungry.
yeah, I make myself baked oats like fairly often, and that's so delicious. And it's sort of like the texture
That's
of it.
like it's that.
Yeah, it's like almost like similar to almost like a flapjacky, almost like tastes a bit like a healthy apple crumbly pie flapjacky thing. But it's just like got no rubbish in it. Do you know what I mean? So it's like that's almost like scratches that itch for me. But yeah, I remember we were at Trianon Bay, Drew, and I remember we'd been there for something like 3 days. And I remember like it got to like the third day, and I came back from the toilet, and I was just like, you know, I just had a number 2, and I remember you were like, yeah, I should probably try and go. Actually, I haven't been for like 4 days, and I was like, what the hell?
It is, and Meg gets like that as well. It's like when you're in, especially if you're in somewhere new or like you're not in
Right.
your own environment,
Right.
and like
Your sphincter
it'll
just goes
close up. Yeah, and like that happens to me, and that happens to Meg as well. Because we said it's like real funny that it.
Yeah, because
that-
I just remember because like, I've always been like a 1 a day guy, you know,
Yeah.
For the most part, you know.
An
Yeah,
apple a day?
true.
No, not for Calum.
Every now and again, if I've eaten a bit too much that day or the day before, it might be a 2 a day. But do you know what I mean? It will
Yeah.
definitely be at least once a day. And I remember it was like I couldn't believe that you hadn't been in like 4 days. And I remember you were like, oh yeah, I should probably go and try. And then you came back like 10 minutes later, and you were like, oh mate, come and have a look at this. It's really weird. And I went to the toilet, and there was just this tiny, and it was like black, and it was like this tiny little black nugget. And it was tiny, and I remember I thought it was really weird that it was black, because I've never really had like a black poo, and I just remember thinking like, mate, what is going on there? It's like I'm trying to think of like a way to describe it. It was like a massive black raisin That's what it looked like, just a massive black raisin in the toilet. And I remember thinking, like, there's something going on with his digestive system there, man.
That's bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's bad digestion.
Just a tiny, like 4 days, and all you can conjure is
Ruben sometimes as well. Actually, like
Yeah.
he'll just have like a little black nug, and we're like, what? And
It's
then
hereditary.
about an hour later, he'll have like a big massive soft one. It's like, oh yeah, that was just the corkscrew.
Yeah,
that was just a little corky bit like holding.
yeah.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
Do that again. I like that sound.
One of my many useless
Oh,
talents.
I like that sound. That's
Yeah?
cool. It's like you're whistling when you do like the
The vibrato.
thingy. Yeah. Yeah.
Probably sounds real rubbish down the mic, but yeah, it sounds all brittle.
Yeah. I like that. I like that pop.
Yeah, I'm glad that I can
That's cool.
entertain you
can't
with
do that.
my
How do you do that?
my various. I don't know. It's just I'm
My cheek
just
just flop.
I'm just a man of useless talents. That's the thing.
Oh, yeah,
if
I
I
can't
could
do
somehow
that
if I could somehow market
Oh, a bit.
if I could somehow market all of the useless things that I can do, then I'd be a millionaire.
Wait, can you give us a
But-
lesson on how to do it?
I don't, it's one of those things I don't really know how to explain it. Make a hook with your finger,
Okay, a hook.
and I think one of the crucial things is when you put it in your mouth, you have to seal it around your finger so that there's not an air gap.
Okay.
Okay, because if there's an air
You've got,
gap,
like, stuck on your finger with it.
I don't think I really suck on it, but there's like that's what she said. But I think the main thing is that like there's not an air gap because that'll ruin it, and then you just keep that hook. Keep that hook and just like turn your. So it's all in the wrist. It's all in the wrist. So I'm not moving my arm. I'm just going like that. Yeah, see,
I can't do
Drew's
it.
is like a higher bitch.
Yeah. I can get a lower one or a high one.
I can't do it. I'm just
Oh.
scratching
Oh,
myself.
Drew can play keys on his. Drew's gonna start like write a full song. He's like, yeah, this one's in C.
Hey, I did a little one then.
Did you?
But I think it was more like floppy up my cheek.
It was like a little floppy one, like a really like when you've eaten way too much hot food and it's like.
Yeah, it's like
Right, come on, Imogen. We're gonna put you on the spot
like
here.
it.
Come on. No, you're not closing the gap enough. We need to.
what, like probably like close your mouth.
Yeah, not don't suck on it, but you have to close
I
your
don't
mouth
get
on the
this.
finger.
Wait, I'm so confused. Wait.
Oh my lord. Right.
It's not making any sound.
I think.
I'll come back. I'll do
Right.
homework and I'll come back on Wednesday and I'll
Yeah,
have it.
you'll have to practice that one. Anyway.
Right. Yeah. Drew gets a pass on that
I
one.
think I've just cut
you've
my
got, You've
mouth.
got work to do. You've cut your mouth.
I can taste
You
the
didn't
blood.
achieve it.
I can
You've just scratched the inside of your mouth open.
I can taste the blood. Have
Oh
fun.
my lord. Oh my lord. Don't hurt yourself, you crazy person. Oh well, you've mastered it, Drew, anyway. Drew's writing songs on his now. What instrument are you gonna imagine that? I've written my latest song, or what did you write on the guitar? No, just like and then just like
Da, 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 da.
Ugh.
Yeah.
oh, that's great.
I can just taste blood now.
Talking about music, have you heard about like Osama bin Laden's son?
No.
No.
And obviously, like Osama bin Laden was like the head of Al Qaeda, who like got taken out by like the American Special Forces.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you know that his son is like just randomly like a mettler now?
No.
Is he?
Yeah, Omar bin Laden.
I didn't know he had a son.
Yeah, I think he's got quite a few sons. I think he just had like got loads of women up the duff, like
he just made the
like a lot
whole
of
like
sort
the
of-
whole group he was in. He just made them
Yeah,
all.
pretty much. Well, there's sort of like if you're like in that in that sort of like very traditional like Islamist way of living, like he was. You were allowed to have loads of wives, aren't you? But the women aren't allowed to have multiple partners,
Yeah.
but you are.
Yeah.
So he was just getting up at the duff for any woman he wanted, really.
Oh, furs.
What'd you say?
Oh, furs.
Oh, fairs, mate, fairs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fair enough.
yeah. Omar bin Laden was raised in Sudan and Afghanistan before breaking away from Al Qaeda as a young man. He chose exile and distanced himself from extremism. Later settled for periods in Saudi Arabia, Iran, before moving to Europe. In adulthood, Omar has cultivated a persona embracing heavy metal culture. And yeah, any of the pictures, if you look up Omar bin Laden, he just walks around in like denim and like leather jackets and stuff, and he just loves metal. So
Oh, fairs.
I just think it's really funny that Osama bin Laden's
he's in
son
a
has just
band?
become a metaler. I'm not sure if he's actually in a band, but
He is the band.
he is the band, yeah. Yeah, he's got really long hair and he just always walks around like leather jackets and denim and stuff. And yeah, he said that in Europe he discovered a passion for painting, particularly Western landscapes and Americana scenes inspired by films and pop culture. So yeah, he's an artist and he often draws like horses, deserts, proper like Western scenes. And yeah, he once applied for asylum in the UK, hoping to start a new life, but was denied due to they just it was a bit unsafe
Well, at
because
least
of
he applied for it.
yeah, that's it. Nowadays he'd just get
Do you know
in,
what I mean?
he'd just be able to walk right in. He'd just
Yeah.
get a jet ski, turn up, Brighton Beach or Plymouth, wherever. Just get on. Just come on, man.
You
Yeah.
can recreate William the Conqueror and show up down
Down
south.
Down south.
Yeah.
Did you actually have to figure that out?
Yes.
Wow.
I'm not good with
Interesting.
geography.
Where did we almost gave it away then. Where did the William the Conqueror's big battle take place?
Which one? There was a couple of them. There was oh no, that was Harold, wasn't it? That had loads.
Harold who?
Harold.
Hadrada.
There's Harold Hadrada.
Yeah.
And there's
Who was he?
he was a Viking.
Yeah.
And that was the
Who was the
Battle
other
of
Harold?
Fulford.
Harold
And-
Stamford Bridge.
Stamford, yeah. There was one on Stamford and one on Fulford Bridge. There was
Fulford
two of
Bridge?
them, yeah. There was two of them.
Not with Harold Hadrada.
Was it not with Harold Hadrada? I thought
You're thinking of Harold Godwinson.
No, because Harold Hadrada won one of them and then he lost the second one.
No, you're thinking of Harold Godwinson.
I swear.
Harold Godwinson was basically like the de facto leader of England.
Yeah.
But Harold Hadrada claimed the throne, and so did William of Normandy,
Yeah.
as he was known at the time. Also William the Bastard, as he was also known at the time. And
Oh, it happened in Hastings, by the way.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was looking for. And then so then Harold Godwinson heard that Harold Hadrada was invading up north. So he marched his army up there, took the Vikings by surprise, managed to beat Harold Hadrada in a battle. And then they heard that literally the Normans were invading down south, so he marched all of his army down south,
Yeah.
and that's when he fought William. the
Yeah,
Conqueror.
and Fulford happened as he was marching. So when he was marching up and he heard that the Vikings came in, that's Fulford Bridge. It was him.
Did he?
Yeah, it was. He went to
Sure.
Fulford. Yes, I swear. I did it as history GCSEs.
I've never heard of that.
I did it as history GCSEs.
Well, I'll take your word for it.
Hadrada was fighting on Fulford Bridge. He
Hadrada?
won. He won the Viking.
Not
yeah.
Godwinson.
No, he won the Fulford, and then that's when he got the north.
So what? So you're saying like he landed?
Yeah,
Harold
he
Hadrada landed,
fought
had like
on
a
the
little
same
battle,
day. Yeah,
and won that
Because-
while Harold Godwinson was
Yeah.
marching north.
yeah, and then
I didn't know that.
they were having a rest. And when
Yeah.
they were resting, Godwinson came
I know that
and
they
he
were
then
resting.
beat
Yeah,
him.
I know that they were like essentially chilling out when Harold Godwinson arrived because they didn't think that he'd be able to make it up
Yeah.
to where they were so quickly because they
Yeah.
knew that he was down in Wessex.
Yeah.
So they were like, oh yeah, we're up basically northeast of England. Obviously those days on like foot and horse and stuff, it would have taken ages. Obviously, if you think.
Yeah.
So they weren't expecting them to get up there in like a day. And then they were just like, apparently they were almost like chilling out. So they were like Vikings like lying on the beaches, like chilling, like they didn't have their armor on. They were like walking around topless and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden it was like, and they were like almost like taken completely by surprise. And
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why Harold Godwinson managed to like win the battle so decisively.
Another bad thing that he did though was he then lost most of his best soldiers for fighting against William the Conqueror.
Do you mean Harold Hadrada?
No, Godwinson lost most of his good men.
Why
In his fight against Hadrada. So then when he
fought William,
he didn't have any of his good members. So.
I think he had quite a few of them, but yeah, a lot of them
But a
were
lot of
already
them were
dead.
gone,
Yeah,
yeah.
because he basically had his full-time army, if you like, and then there were like the almost like part-time army. So you'd almost like call up all the different fjords, and then there would be like men that would like join the army, but then they weren't necessarily as good as like the full-time professional soldiers.
Okay, so Battle of Fulford was on the 20th of September,
Mm.
1066. Battle of Hastings was like a couple days later, like a day later or so.
So was Battle of Stamford Bridge in between that?
So Battle of Hastings was September 1066.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a couple days after. I think it was like 8 days in total. Like the whole thing spanned
What
a week.
was 8 days?
3 battles.
What
I
was
think
8 days?
The 3 battles. Like he had 3 battles in like 8 days.
So it went.
I think.
Yeah, but what was the chronology?
So it was Fulford. and then Stamford,
Right.
and then Hastings.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Harold Hardrada landed.
Yeah.
Fought
Did
at Fulford
one
Bridge.
Yeah, and then fought at Stamford.
So that was
Bridge.
just him beating like the locals, like the
Yeah,
people up in
so
like
it's
Northumberland or whatever.
Yeah, so he, Godwinson had like a friend up north that was looking after North for him.
Yeah, of course.
And he
yeah.
went and fought the North one. He lost.
Yeah, the
and
locals
then-
that would have just
yeah,
been living there.
Yeah, so like there was a couple. Like, I think it was his friend. It was obviously like a
Well, yeah.
it was like an earl or something.
Well,
like
yeah, because like just like today, if you think about it, there would have just been people been living wherever they
Yeah.
landed. So I expect they called like the immediate army. It'd be like
Yeah.
if somebody landed in like Weston,
Yeah,
you'd have like a Somerset army.
yeah.
That would be the first to respond. But then if they got beaten, obviously, then that would time like for the British
Yeah.
army to then come in.
Yeah.
Like that sort of analogy.
If we ever want to go in full detail, I'll bring my GCSE books out. I've got them supplied at home.
You know, that's interesting. I didn't actually know that there
I
was
did
like
5 years
I didn't
on
know
it.
that there was a little battle, or if I ever did, I just completely forgot that information.
It's
But
not
yeah.
a very like big one, but it's on the what's it called? The big like thingy they did, the big like art thing.
The Bayer Tapestry.
Yeah, the Bayer Tapestry. That's it. Yeah, it's all on there.
Is it?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
because I remember the Stamford Bridge because Fulford Bridge was before because they fell like they lost, and then Stamford Bridge. I remember a Viking got like someone stabbed somebody under the bridge.
Up the bridge,
Yeah,
right
like
up into the
up the
balls.
bum. Yeah, that was
and,
horrible.
The
Like,
balls,
impaled them.
anus, and peni.
Yeah, that was that's the only
That's
reason
brutal,
why I
isn't it?
remembered Stamford.
Yeah, because apparently there was like this massive like berserker Viking that was like stood on the bridge, and he was almost he did a bit of like a 300, so he like closed off this bridge, and there were like all these like Saxons coming, but he just went full berserker and he was like hacking them down, and the Saxons were like, man, this guy is just like too good, like we can't, we're losing so many men to this one guy that's just hacking them down on this bridge. So they were like, right, we're gonna have to get sneaky. So they snuck under the bridge, and then shoved a spear up under the bridge and it went right through the planks, and then like got him right in the frickin' nads / anus / gooch / penis region. And then that was obviously enough to incapacitate him enough for the rest of them to hack him down.
Damn, nasty way to go.
That's pretty, wasn't it? One thing that's almost like quite sad, I think, about the whole like Harold Godwinson defence of England thing, is that like pretty much like all historians agree that if Harold Godwinson had basically just chilled the F out a little bit, he probably would have won Hastings. But it's almost like for some reason he just like decided that he was just going to like apply the exact same tactics to Hastings that he applied to Stamford Bridge, but it just didn't really make sense. So like, a lot of his most trusted advisors were like, look, man, like you've just had this massive battle at Stamford Bridge, which is literally on like the northeast coast of England. Like the Normans have just landed literally on the south coast of England. Like you've lost a lot of men, and the men you have like left are like quite tired.
Regroup.
And you've made them like march. Like spend a couple of days like in your capital. It doesn't matter. Like the Normans have already landed. We've got like way more men in the UK, or like in England, than they have like in the south. Just let them do whatever they're going to do just for a couple of days. Give time to like cool all your freaking banners. You'll like get this massive army, regroup, have a good night's sleep, get some food in you, and then like in a day or two we'll decide where to fight them like on our terms. But instead he was just like, no, I just do it now. And he like basically almost just for some reason rushed, and then like got there, and for a start the battle was in like not a strategically advantageous position. So if I remember rightly, the Normans were basically like on a hill.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, whereas like the Saxons were at the bottom of the hill, which is always, it's like Star Wars. I have the high ground.
They had a better cavalry as well. Like
they had knights.
Yeah, they had cavalry. They had bow and arrows. They had like
crossbows.
Good, they had like good
Do they have
positioning
crossbows or not?
Something like that. Yeah, the Normans.
Because I know.
I
think
had
they did have
really
crossbows,
good
yeah.
like positioning. They had like
Yeah.
layers, so no matter what, they had like the protection. Whereas the Anglo-Saxons
I don't think
just
they
went in a
necessarily.
wall.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think they had.
They also
a
did
better army,
they did a false
but it was
retreat as
different.
well, which helped.
Yeah.
The false retreat was false. They thought William was dead. Some actually thought he was dead, so went to go home.
I
And
heard
then
about that, yeah.
he actually wasn't, so they charged back in and got him.
Yeah, but it's a bit of a shame because I mean at the time what we basically had was like an Anglo-Norse empire, which is really cool because it would have completely changed the dynamic of like our history. Because at the time, if you think about like the sort of like the geopolitical landscape, it was like the UK and Norway and Denmark were almost like seen as like the same, almost like one thing. Like it was like an Anglo-Norse empire. Because of the fact that they were just so integrated, like, do you know what I mean? Like ever since, like even like in a way before like the Viking invasions, like of like Lindisfarne and stuff like that, and then how eventually they had like the Danelaw and like had like Jorvik, which is modern day York, and all the rest of it. Like even before that, because obviously like a lot of the Anglo-Saxons and that and Jutes came from like modern day Denmark and stuff like that as well. But yeah, it was almost like, you know, because we had like kings like King Canute, who was like king of Norway and Denmark before King of England. Do you know what I mean? So he was like king of England and Denmark and Norway all at the same time, and that wasn't far before basically like, you know, 1066 happened.
It's all Edward's fault. He should have just chosen a what's it called?
An heir?
Yeah, there you are. Yeah, I can't remember the word. There's like
it's because he didn't have a son though, isn't it?
Yeah, he should have just chosen somebody and made it very clear who.
Well,
he chose.
I know, but this is part of the problem. Like, so all three of those guys claimed like different things.
Yeah,
so,
but if he made it obvious and like had said it, like,
yeah,
when I die, I want this person to be in charge.
This is the thing though. I think that some people said that they did, but there were conflicting reports.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
I
so,
know
like,
that Harold thought that he said it at his deathbed. The Viking king said that his dad was promised it before.
Well,
so
Harold Hardrada basically
should have been his.
Harold Hardrada's like logic
Norman
was almost like
family.
King Canute was king of England and Norway and Denmark. I'm now like he was essentially like the new Canute. So he was like, well, I'm like the heir to Canute. So even though he wasn't like Canute's, I don't think he was related to Canute, but he was essentially like, well, I am like the new Canute. So, like, I am the new ruler of this little Norse Anglo Empire. It's like simple as that. Like, everyone get in line, bitches. You know? And Harold Godwinson was like, no, it's been promised to me. And I think I can't remember, I think, like, Harold Godwinson's wife was, like, somebody's daughter. I can't remember exactly who. What was it, like?
Oh, there was a fourth person as well, wasn't there? That was Edgar.
What's that?
Edgar Atheling, I think it was.
Oh, yeah, that rings a bell, Edgar Atheling. But I can't remember.
He was, like, a really young one who is...
Isn't that a great name, Edgar Atheling?
Was his family member.
Whose family member?
He was Edward's. He was closer related to Edward than any of the others were, but I think out of any of them, he got like taken out of the equation. He didn't want to be king, and then
was he just like a little child or something?
He was like young. He was like much younger than the rest.
He had no right. He didn't
want to.
No. Sorry, I didn't mean to say he had no right.
He had no right.
He had no place. Like, because like, all the rest of the guys were like freaking warlords. Do you know what I mean? So like, good luck. You got this like little lad like. Because apparently Harold Godwinson was like an amazing warrior, and then obviously you had like William of Normandy, William the Bastard. He was the descendant of Rollo, Drew. So he was like a direct descendant of Rollo. So Rollo, who obviously founded Normandy originally, so like the Franks paid off the Vikings basically, and were like, we'll give you Normandy, which means Northman's land. So they were like, we'll give you the north of France, and in return, because we're so fed up of Vikings and stuff coming in like invading. You can have that, but then if any of your kin, if any other Vikings come and try and land here, you just basically have to take care of them. And Rollo was like, yes. So William the Conqueror was a direct descendant of Rollo.
Edgar was, he was chosen by the Witan.
The Witan, yeah.
To be
which is basically
king,
like the government.
But he was never crowned. So he was chosen because he was the closest relative.
Right.
But really, William was actually the closest living relative to Edgar, so it should have been his right.
William was a relative, was he?
He was like joined by like very, very distant, I think, because we did a whole family tree and everything in history class.
I didn't know that.
It's somewhere in my history book.
I didn't know that William was related to.
I'll have to find it.
So was this a battle on between three different people then?
Yeah, so it was like it was the main battles between Harold Godwinson, Harold Hardrada, and William of Normandy. Yeah, who became obviously known as William the Conqueror when he ended up winning.
I didn't realise that.
Yeah, so Harold Godwinson obviously managed to defeat Harold Hardrada, who probably in terms of like single combat, to be fair, like if it was just like a three-way, Harold Hardrada was probably the best warrior overall because he was in the Varangian Guard in Constantinople for like years, and he was just I think he was literally known as like the best warrior in Europe. Like that was almost like one of his like titles. Like. And he also, for the day, he was like a giant. So I think he was like 6'8" or something, which like, you know, especially in like, it would be giant now. But like in those days, especially, it was like, you know, people were a bit shorter in general on the whole, I think. So if by those days standards, he was like freaking mahoosive. And then when you add on like all of his experience and his training throughout literally like the whole of the Mediterranean and stuff like that, like, yeah, he was just like OP basically. But yeah, it was pretty epic time in history. But it's mad how it literally, if like Harold Godwinson had just waited like another day or two, then our language would be completely different now, because obviously the way that English is now is very influenced by French. So we've got like a really weird like mongrel language, which is almost like mixes of like Anglo-Saxon, almost like Old Norse, and like French, with like also with like Latin, like with some Latin phrases mixed in, which is obviously, I guess you could say a lot of it's because of the French connection as well. But if we didn't, then our language now would be more like old English was, which was like like a lot more, like it was purely a Germanic language, what we would call a Germanic language, rather than our sort of like mongrel language, which is like a Germanic Latin combination. Like it's weird. Like we will use, and it's one of the reasons why in our language we have like several words for the same thing. A lot of languages will only have like one word for like one thing, but we have like loads of words to describe essentially the same thing. So if you think about like whether it's like a branch of a tree or like a rock, there'll be like several different words to describe. You know, you could have like a pebble, a rock, a stone, like, and it's often because like, you know, it's almost like it's like the same word but in slightly different languages that we've all like adopted over the years. And, you know, we've got like so many different words for like so many different things. And
is that where synonyms come in?
I'm not really sure.
Synonyms are like words that are used to do like another way to say a word, basically.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably, and like probably like a lot of the time.
So like that's why there's so many different words for like great, or like big.
Yeah, like
giant,
like massive,
huge,
yeah. And some of them probably come from like Old English. Some of them are like maybe even Norse, and some of them are like French. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's weird because like obviously our language is like we just mix a lot of stuff. So what you see a lot of the time is a lot of the more like official words, more grandiose words. You know, like Parliament and things like that will be more like French, because it would have been more like the Normans that were overseeing the Parliament at the time. And more like expensive foods. So like the Normans used to eat like a lot of because they call cows like buff. So we call beef, like the meat we eat, we call it beef, even though it comes from a cow, because the Normans ate a lot of cow, but they would call it beef. So we still call it beef, but the more like poorer cuts like chicken, we call it what the animal's called. You don't say I'm going to eat. Do you know what I mean? It's just chicken. We don't have a separate word, but it's weird, isn't it? If you think about it, we have a separate word for when you eat it to what the animal is. It's a cow, but it's beef. And it's like a pig, but it's pork. But a chicken is just a chicken. You know what I mean? Like, you're not like, oh, I'm going to eat. You know what I mean? So it's because...
I always remember Carmen used to call like pork the pig.
Did she? Oh, we need to eat the pig. Yeah.
I would like the pig.
I wonder what pork is in Spanish. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd be interested to know what that was. Yeah, I mean, you can see why. Like, you can see why somebody that English wasn't their first language, they'd find all of that stuff confusing, wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? Because you'd apply the common sense of like, well, if a chicken is a chicken and you're going to eat some chicken, like, do you know what I mean? Can you remember? Did she call like?
It's cerdo.
Is it? That's so different.
CERDO.
Interesting.
Cerdo.
Interesting.
Pork.
Yeah. There you go. But it's interesting. Go on.
Something I found interesting the other day about languages was like Aramaic. So like apparently I was like looking stuff up about Jesus and stuff, and like and apparently his main language was Aramaic. It wasn't like Greek or like
because he was born in the Middle East, wasn't he?
Yeah, and the language he spoke was Aramaic.
So what actually is Aramaic?
The I guess the language of the place he was from.
He was born in Bethlehem, wasn't he? Jesus, is that right? If I'm remembering from primary school.
Yeah.
Oh wait a minute, or is it Nazareth? Jesus of Nazareth.
Yeah, Nazareth.
Was he born in Bethlehem or Nazareth?
He was born in Bethlehem.
But he lived in Nazareth, did he?
They came from Nazareth to Bethlehem.
Because I know he's known as Jesus of Nazareth.
So Aramaic, Northwest Semitic language that originated around the late 11th century among the ancient Arameans, a tribal people in the region of Syria.
Oh, okay.
But that was the language he spoke.
Right.
So well, I don't know why
Jesus
yeah,
of Aramaic,
and
Jesus of Nazareth.
so when
He's
he was
Jesus
doing
of
all of
Bethlehem.
his
He was born in Bethlehem,
He was born in Bethlehem, and his parents got together in Nazareth and went from Nazareth to Bethlehem. I know that from the Nativity.
Did he live in Nazareth as well?
I don't know whether he lived
'Cause he is known as
Nazareth,
Jesus of
but I
Nazareth,
know
isn't
that
he?
he was born in Bethlehem because he was born in Bethlehem in a manger. And I know that it came from Nazareth, that his parents
Judea.
travelled from Nazareth.
Yeah, modern day Judea. That's basically like Israel, isn't it? Judea.
Yeah, Jesus spoke Aramaic because it was the lingua franca, or common language, of Judea and the surrounding region during his time.
Isn't he
yeah,
Jewish?
it was in
He was
Judea.
Jewish, yeah. He was Jewish, yeah.
And yeah, you know, Galilean, Galilean towns. And,
Oh, okay. Galileo.
that rings a bell as well, like Galilean.
Yeah, Galileo, wasn't he? He was like the map guy, right?
Isn't Jesus' foreskin somewhere?
Yeah, I have it at home. Yeah.
But so my point was, like, that language is really, really like poetic, and basically like the Bible that we have now is it was in Greek and then translated into Latin. So but it was first the things that he was saying, the sermons and the things that he was doing and the speeches that he was giving at the time to people, and that would have all been in Aramaic.
Right.
And what they're saying is that like you could get like 40 different meanings from one sentence. You know, like we're saying, we've got lots in our English language,
which is why it's so hard for us to know.
Yeah, well, or it could be it's translated like it's not translated right. So some of the
interpretations
things that we have as that we take for like for certain in the Bible and that and certain meanings we have, like you could actually translate it in a different way because it's almost like three languages.
You can interpret
anyway,
it in different ways.
From Aramaic to like Greek, from Greek to Latin, and then Latin to English. That's like Chinese whispers almost, you know. So like we're getting like the essence of it. But they were saying about some prayers and things, and I was reading. So I've got this little book that's like a alternative translations to, because there's this thing about like the meek and mild will inherit the earth or something. There was and that gives this real like idea of like the meek and the mild, the
almost makes you think, without being rude, it almost makes you think of like weak people. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
and it's like, the weak will inherit the earth. But then if you translate it another way from Aramaic, it's the people with a softened heart. So not meek and mild.
To be honest, I think that makes
who's opened their heart up.
That makes more sense to me, because I also I don't think
that makes way more sense.
I think that the people that were writing these texts were probably very wise people, and I don't think it's a very wise thing to write that. Like,
I thought they were monks that wrote them all.
Later on, it would have been, but they wouldn't have been called monks to start.
Okay.
But like, I don't think it's good to encourage people to be like meek and mild in that do you know what I mean? In the way that we would think of it nowadays. I think you should encourage people to be like strong and just. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, because I think being weak doesn't really help anybody, does it? It certainly doesn't help yourself. Yeah. It doesn't help anyone around you.
And that's it. And so certain things have been translated a certain way, but it's like, but if you translate it like this, it would completely change the meaning. And maybe you're like, maybe some of the things like aren't coming across in the right way, you know?
It makes sense. I think
quite interesting.
I think that's the problem a lot of times with translations, isn't it? And that's I know that you see that quite a lot. Yeah, with like obviously, a lot of those like older languages like Greek. Obviously, Latin's a newer language than Greek, but still relatively old. Like Latin and Greek and Egyptian and all these like Aramaic. Like you can sort of use them all to sort of like help translate each other. But as you said, there'll be different interpretations and different ways of perceiving things, because not everything is like a copy and paste. Like, you know, like what does this like English is similar enough to say like, even though it is still different, English say would be similar enough to say like Danish or German or Dutch, where like you could almost do like a copy and paste translation and it would be like very accurate.
But then there's sayings, or it's more like the descriptive stuff. Like we have lots of sayings in English, and if you like literally translated them, it'd be like, well, how does that mean that? That's
like things that we almost take for
water under the
granted, like
bridge,
slang.
or-
Like sayings.
like slang stuff, like and things like that. So certain like things of descriptive stuff or feelings that you have, and stuff, because you hear I've heard some that are like Spanish and that. I remember like Calum telling me something that
like
I
sayings
can't
of
think
theirs,
them off
but
the top
to
of my
us,
head.
we're like, what is that? That's a weird thing to say.
How does that mean?
But and then they'll have
know?
to explain to us like, oh, that's kind of like a euphemism for like, and then they'll explain it like.
So that's
like,
more the grey areas to me, like that stuff where you can't just copy.
Yeah,
and paste,
because we know what
translate
water under the
words.
bridge means, or like water off a duck's back, or you know, like, give a dog a bone. Like we know what all these things mean.
Nick,
but it's like,
paddy work, give a dog a bone.
Yeah, you know, but like if you didn't know automatically what these things meant, and that was translated, you'd be like, well, I'm not give a dog a bone. Water under a
dog a bone.
Water under the
This,
bridge.
like, religion, people just always
Giving big dogs bones.
taking it literally, you know.
Yeah.
We must pray under the water under the bridge.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. I did quickly look up Galileo as well. So Galileo was born in 1564 and he lived until 1642. He was an Italian astronomer, physicist, engineer, sometimes described as a polymath. He was born in Pisa, then part of the Duchy of Florence. Galileo has been called the father of observational astronomy, modern era classical physics, the scientific method, and modern science. So yeah, what did you say it was? What did you say exactly, Drew? That it was like it was known as like a Galilaic.
There's Galileo, or there's a place around Galilean.
Oh, or is it like Galilee or Galilean?
Galilean towns.
Galilean towns. I wonder what that's in reference to.
There was a place called Galileo.
Oh, well, maybe that's just like maybe it's completely unconnected to Galileo then.
Yeah.
Is it like Galilee?
Yeah.
Galilee.
Magnifico.
Galilee region of ancient Palestine.
Ah. There you go.
Galilee.
Was that like an Italian like province? Or like a Roman province? I expect it was.
Galilean,
because they were the ones that named it.
Settlements located in the Galilee region of ancient Palestine.
Because the Romans were the ones that named it Palestine. Because I think before it was Judea.
Yeah, Nazareth, Capernaum, Bethsaida.
I feel like we're all learning history together here, guys. If my memory serves, right? So I think it was Judea, and then the Roman Empire came in, and I think they killed all the Jews, because people like doing that. And then I think they renamed the land.
Guys.
Yeah, the Jews never get a break. And then I think they renamed the land Palestine as an insult to the people of Judea, because the Jewish people's the people of Judea's ancient enemies were the Philistines. So they called the land Palestine as like a dig to the people of Judea. And I think Judea just essentially means like land of the Jews, or like Jewish land. So yeah, so it was like they named the land Palestine as like a dig to the Jews, to like mock them, because the Romans didn't like the Jews, especially because obviously the Romans were like, well, the same way that the Romans just came into Britain and just like slaughtered everyone.
Roman Catholic.
And like, yeah, so at the time when the Romans like conquered that area, they were still pagans. So they weren't, because obviously later on the Romans converted to Christianity. Obviously at this stage, this is obviously pre-Jesus. So obviously, without pointing out the obvious, Christianity wasn't a thing yet, because Jesus
didn't even think of that, to be fair.
Jesus obviously essentially invented Christianity as like a new form of Judaism, because he was a Jew. But then the reasons why Jews and Christians disagree is because although you could kind of say in some ways it's almost the same language, Jesus was a Jew. But what makes you a Christian is if you basically think that Jesus was the Son of God. Modern day Jews, they don't think that Jesus was the Son of God, whereas Christians do think that Jesus was the Son of God. But other than that, they pretty much everything before
Jesus had
that.
A mother called Joseph. No, a mother called Mary and a father called Joseph.
How very 2025 of you. But yeah,
I don't know.
before that,
I can't remember the stories from the Bible.
Everything like pre-Jesus, like Christians and Jews all agree on, it's just what happened post-Jesus that they disagree on. So they believe
the New Testament.
Yeah, so they have the Old Testament, which I think the Jews just call the Torah, I think. And then, but yeah, they obviously don't believe the New Testament. They think that's all like, they think that's all mumbo
Yeah, and
jumbo.
Galilee apparently was northern Israel and southern Lebanon.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
nowadays.
So that's got absolutely nothing to do with the astronomer Galileo. Then.
Like,
Yeah. Just wanted to clear that up because I don't want to give like confused people listening. But it was a good thing that we looked into that because I was confusing myself. I was like, "Is that got something to do with Galileo?" Like the guy. Apart from anything else, he lived in like 1600, which was obviously like way after all this happened. But, yeah, still interesting. What are you freaking mumbling about in the background? You freaking nut job.
Deliver us from evil.
I suppose she's just been like mumbling in the background for like the last like 15 minutes. What are you even on about?
Just saying the Lord's Prayer. Just getting
right.
down.
I wasn't even like registering what you were saying. I was just like talking, and you're in the background.
I've been possessed.
Yeah.
At first, I was
By the Holy
singing
Spirit.
Galileo, 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 Figaro, Magnifico.
She is very special, isn't she, this lady? Hey, Imogen, did you know that a dog can bark up to 400 times a day?
Can actually?
Nah, it's only a rough estimate. Rough? It's only a rough estimate.
That was a rough joke.
Did you know that the Mortal Kombat theme was made in Scandinavia?
I've never played Mortal Kombat.
It's a Finnish hymn.
I don't get it.
Finish him.
Finland.
Finish him. Finished. Yeah.
Lost on you, innit? It's all
Yeah.
lost on you. Eh?
Yeah.
Have you heard that Tesla are bringing out like a smartphone?
Phone. Yeah, I've heard that for a while. Yeah,
The
I
Tesla-
didn't know
is
they're
it-
actually doing
Is this
it.
another joke?
No.
Oh.
This is actually,
you get like Starlink free with it or something.
yeah, I think it's
like,
called, they're
as
calling
part of
it the Tesla Pi phone. But it's going to cost
Have you
you.
got the pie or the apple?
I think a new one will cost $789 apparently.
Yeah,
I
who's
don't-
buying
Yeah,
that?
I don't know how
and it can
close to.
directly connect to Starlink.
It looks pretty
Right,
cool.
cool.
Yeah. It comes with free Starlink
well, that's something
connectivity.
Are you going to be buying that?
Well,
Would you actually buy that?
certainly not like originally because it probably costs so much money.
Yeah.
So. But the
Are
fact
you
that
going to upgrade from an apple to a pie?
I don't have.
Or have an apple pie?
I've got a Samsung.
Oh, have you got a
I've
Samsung?
got an Android. Yeah.
Samsung.
I actually really
Fair.
like my Samsung though.
Fair enough.
I have had iPhones in the past, but I don't think I'd go back to iPhone.
They're getting worse, I think.
Well, iPhones.
Yeah.
I almost wish I didn't have a phone sometimes.
Me too.
Agreed.
With the way things are going.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think I can't remember if we talked about this before, but I almost like begrudge the fact I feel like because phones are just so normal and common now, people I think will feel like almost like expect you to like just pick up and reply almost like when it suits them. Whereas actually, I think if you think about that, that's quite rude, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's the good thing about emails. Like you'd like set a time where you almost like could, you know, an hour a day or something where you sit down and be like,
yeah.
I'm gonna get back to everyone, or like,
And you check it the
actually
next day. You can
have
keep
time for
you
it.
can keep the thing trickling along.
Yeah.
But I feel like even with emails, like to an extent, certain
Cool, 'cause they
people.
just ping up on your phone anyway. As
Yeah,
well,
not.
don't they? Like,
Well,
you know.
yeah. I've turned off my notifications on emails because I didn't
I have
used
to turn them
to.
on. I never check them.
I felt like it was like stressing me out.
I keep
'Cause
getting
sometimes
told off for not checking my emails.
Sometimes I
good
get a
to-
work
to-
email at
to
like
set
10
a bit
o'clock
of
at
time.
night, and I'd be like, "Oh man, I best reply to this and that." And I think that's like it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good for you. You
No.
need to have that you need to have that thing like this is my work time, this is not my work time. You know, and separate that. So I feel like I like that because now it's like when I check my emails, that's up to me. But
yeah.
it's weird, isn't it? Because like before, mobile phones were like super like normal or like it was like super common. Like obviously you've just grown up like that, Imogen, with the world like that. But
yeah, I
like
suppose, yeah.
back in the day, like obviously me and Drew were young enough to remember that like if you wanted to go in and see a mate, if you knew their house number, you could either like ring up and ask to speak to your mate,
I'd just go knock on the door.
or you could go knock on the door. Yeah.
I still did that. I still went and knocked on the door. I
Did you?
think my generation was the last generation to go out and just knock on someone's door and
I'm
go,
not
are
sure.
they home?
I'm not sure. I think Bullwinkle
Because-
said he didn't do that.
Oh, what? All of my friends and my brothers and that did it. Like, I lived
that's
in a
good.
village, though, I suppose.
Yeah. Also, I don't
we'd-
think that like you should have like mobile phones when you're
No.
like little kids.
I did. I have to admit, I had an iPod, like a touchscreen iPod, but I had that so that when I was out in the village, my parents could message me when it was time to come home.
You could message on an iPod.
Yeah, it was like a touchscreen iPod. An
I
Apple
didn't know that.
iPod.
I had one like an iPod
All
for
it
songs,
had,
but
it had messages, FaceTime, and then you could get like games on it. And I had it for games because then I didn't have to use my parents' phone, and I had it for music as well because I used to like listening to music all the time. So
it's great.
Yeah, so I'd have it for that. But the only phone we had was my brothers shared a little like, you know, the ones with the, like the numbers on it, the actual like phones. My brother shared one of them, and then that got passed down to me, and I had that until I think I was in year 4 when I got my first phone, which was just a hand me down from my dad to my brother to me. Yeah. So it was an iPhone 5, which was good for somebody at my age, but I only had it because
I had an iPhone 5.
I still have it. It still works.
I mean, to be honest, it's not really that different from like a modern iPhone, is it? Obviously, just better camera.
It works. It works better. It's still going. My phone, I've had it for 5 years and it's almost dead. That one I've had since 2016.
My last iPhone I had was an iPhone 6. After that, I switched to Android. But I actually really like my iPhone 6. I thought that was good. I thought it was a good phone.
It is a good phone. I mean, I had it for ages, and I only had it because that was when I started going into town. Right. So my parents wanted me to have like an actual phone. Yeah. So that, and they wasn't like they were buying it. They just kept what they already had. Yeah. So I could like call them if I needed them to pick me up or something. Yeah, sure. And especially being a young girl in this day and age.
Yeah. It's just mad that it's something that everyone just has on them all the time now. It's like this a piece of technology that we've adapted in such a way that it is literally just like another piece of us.
It's like
I find it crazy how people get new phones so frequently. Like they could get like a new one every couple months, which is crazy.
Do people do that?
Well,
not anybody I know.
I mean, I flipping saw James Charles's TikTok the other day.
Who's that?
A like influencer, makeup artist.
I guess they can afford to.
He literally just bought a new phone and then saw the brand new iPhone came out. So 2 months later went and got the new iPhone.
But why do you need to?
Literally, there's no point. And I think it's even crazy getting a new phone each year. I've had this phone for 5 years and it's still going strong.
I was going to say I probably go about 4 years, I'd say.
Mine 5 years. It is starting to die. That's only because I feel really bad getting a new phone.
That's only because I have like a free upgrade every now and again.
Yeah.
And
I don't even use that.
Even when I do, I don't like switch over straight away. I think I had this for about a year before I actually switched to it, and it was only because my phone literally started breaking, like it was like messing up. Yeah. So I was like, I better switch to the new one.
I only got a new one because mine stopped working. It just turned off.
This is a really good phone. I think it's like a Samsung. Is it like Galaxy S22 Ultra? Yeah. They are really good phones. Like loads of storage and stuff like that, which is good because I think like most people, you often end up like having storage issues because of all like the photos and videos on your phone and stuff like that. But
especially doing work stuff and downloading bits and bobs.
Exactly.
And that as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Mine's an iPhone 12. It's on like 67% battery health, which is not good.
Why?
It just means my phone dies constantly, which is why it's always on charge. Because it just can't handle anything. It always like turns off and like dies and stuff.
The most annoying thing about them, the batteries, like when they start going, they just don't hold their charge for very long.
No, it's horrible.
Pretty cool about these Tesla phones though. It comes with free Starlink connectivity, letting users access the internet anywhere on Earth without a SIM card or Wi-Fi. Literally, you could be in like the middle of a desert or on a mountaintop, and if basically, as long as the satellites are in space, you're connected.
Does that mean you can call the police and call
you whenever, can call whoever,
anytime you need to?
Anybody.
That'd be good.
So
that'd be really good.
A phone bill. You'd have as long as you were doing it on Wi-Fi and calling on WhatsApp or whatever, and from Starlink, you've just never got to pay like a phone bill. That's crazy.
I guess so, man.
Upfront payment of the cost, but if it's like free Starlink connectivity, that would suggest that, wouldn't it?
Apparently, it also comes with solar charging capabilities, neural link sync potential, crypto mining features. And obviously, global internet for free.
That'd be good if you're going to go on like a really big like jungle exhibition or something like that. Yeah. And you're going to go on your own solo travel.
Literally, no roaming charges, no monthly data bills, no signal areas, just direct satellite internet on the go.
Oh, that would have been good the other day when I was in France, having one of those. I could have just plugged the mic into the phone and have like real good Wi-Fi.
Yeah, like Elon Musk apparently has said he doesn't even really think of it as a phone. He thinks of it as a self-reliant communication ecosystem. And he said that Apple, apparently, he says Apple has never delivered anything anywhere close to his new invention, which is pretty cool.
Nice, I'm going to get one of those.
He's also, rumours apparently are swirling about Pi integrating Tesla car controls, as well as AI-based photography, don't really know exactly what that means, and a partnership with SpaceX for live video transmissions Don't really know what that means either. Sounds good though. The Pi phone isn't trying to compete in Apple's world. It's building a new one, Elon Musk said. One powered by the sky, not towers. One designed for digital nomads, explorers, and forward thinkers.
Man, I think it's a scam.
Is it?
It says the Tesla Pi phone is a hoax.
Is it really?
There's no official information or product from Tesla. Rumors about
Oh,
the
we've
phone
just been
which
pranked.
features
Oh
connected.
man, I'm so glad you said that, Drew.
Man.
I'm so glad you said that because I would
Apparently-
have felt really bad and like a right numpty afterwards if I found that out afterwards.
Oh, we've just been let down.
Check your sources, people.
See, Calum knew
Check
it. It
your
was all
sources.
part of his jokes he was telling beforehand. He actually knew that it wasn't real, so he was pranking us, see how far he could get along. Because Gullible's written on the ceiling. If you look up right now, you'll see Gullible in the sky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Thanks for that, Imogen. Trying to cover me. Yeah, see, this is what.
Man, I hate
This
stuff
is
like
why it's
that.
so important to check your sources. So basically, that last whole like 5 minutes was just a
'Cause
waste,
there's loads
complete
of
waste of
websites
your life.
about
Sorry
it and
about that.
everything, but it's like
You're such a prankster, Calum.
I know.
Scam,
Always
isn't
have
it?
been.
Do you know I got scammed twice recently just from like real good Instagram like adverts. You know,
Really?
like yeah, just like, but like, you know, amazing website, like looked all good, looked like you're buying just off a real legitimate like big thing, and it was like some like cargo trousers that just they were waterproof, they looked real cool, and like they were like, you know, yeah, just basically like waterproof trousers with loads of pockets on, and it was like 3 pairs for like, I think it was about 45 quid or something. I thought they look real good. I'm just gonna get 3 pairs of those. I need some new trousers. And then like they just didn't come from it. And do you know that shop app? That have you ever bought something
No.
and then there's this thing called Shop, and it's
Yeah.
just an app, and I guess loads of online vendors and online shops must have it, and basically you can track all your orders from inside this app called Shop, and it was linked to that, so it said this is your delivery date, and like, and so it's just all legitimate until about 2 weeks later when I thought those still haven't come, and I look in there and everything, and then like try to go to the website's just down. And like that, you know, and everything, and yeah, but luckily I bought them with my credit card, and your credit card is really protected for stuff like that. So like I just opened up a like a what's it called, like a query on my credit card, like about that payment, and said I think it's fraudulent or whatever, and they just instantly like transferred the money back into it.
Amazing.
And they check it all and stuff, and obviously do their own investigation.
That's so lucky.
But just yeah, but that was really annoying. And the other one was a for like a workshop apron, like you know,
for your Luther.
that looked really cool.
What's it called? Like, so you know you're like a Luther if you're guitaring. You don't make guitars.
Luthery.
So it's called, so is that so for your Luthery? Right.
Yeah.
So that's for your Luthery.
Yeah, and like for some tool pockets and stuff, and proper leather ones are like.
Well,
really
and that was just
expensive.
fraudulent as well.
Well, that one wasn't. I did get that in the end, but I still like basically. I think they must be made in China or something and almost like drop shipped, because I did get it, but the quality just wasn't as like nowhere near as good as what it looked like in the photos and the marketing materials and the photos and like the online shop.
So
and
it was
all
just
that
a bit
stuff.
rubbish.
So they basically made it look amazing, but the product
wasn't.
they're actually giving is just crap, really.
My
just from
mum
China.
falls for them all the time.
I always
Yeah,
think if
and
something
it's
looks too good to be true,
but
it probably is.
My
isn't it?
mum's a Temu warrior.
I don't usually fall for it, but sometimes, yeah, when it's like it looks like a real legitimate website.
Well,
and
yeah,
stuff, it's like
that Tesla phone thing. So that came up originally on my Google feed. You know when you just type on go on Google on your phone, and then and yeah, it had like pictures of it and everything, which looked like so real, and then like quotes from Elon Musk and that. So I didn't feel the need to then like Google like, is this real? Do you know what I mean? Like, but it just goes to show, like, you know, because I always say, don't I, like check your sources and stuff. People like check your sources. So man, that is crazy. It's mad that like it makes you feel paranoid, doesn't it, in this day and age? Because it's like I say, like if something comes up on like your Google like feed, do you know what I mean? Like, and I don't know.
And like for me,
it's not like it was like some dodgy forum.
Hasn't that got to pass through some kind of like
algorithm or
like thing to make it
like some filters.
allowable for an ad to be placed on social media, hasn't it got to go through a certain set of criteria so that they're checking it's not a scam? And that obviously doesn't happen because there's been loads. And another one I fell for was little Marshall Bluetooth
You're the
speakers.
easiest person to scam.
Oh yeah, like the Marshall, like a Marshall amp, but a Bluetooth speaker. That's so
and
cool.
it was like, PMT are like giving away these as like or not giving away. You can get one for like $9.99, instead of like 115 quid or whatever. And I'm like, banging, I'm gonna put in for that. And it looked like the official PMT like website, like, which is they're closed now, but PMT is like it's a really big music brand in the UK, or like instrument shop and stuff. And so I put my information in and that, ordered it, and it turned up, it had just signed me up for this like monthly like massive charge,
what the hell, man,
weird thing. And like I got an email from them like, thanks for joining us and stuff like that. And it was obviously just a way of these people getting your information to sign you up to something that's not even to do with that. So I was like, what? So then I just emailed the company back that I'd been signed up to, like, I've been scammed, I did not mean to do this, and they just closed the account. But it was just like, man, it's just everywhere now, like in so many different ways.
Yeah, again, though, this is almost like, this links to almost like what you were saying, Drew, about how like you just almost like sometimes don't like all the modern phones and stuff, because it's all sort of linked, isn't it? And it's all linked in the way that it's all like technology, which yes, in some ways it's really good, but also in some ways it's really bad. So it's like in the same way that it's good because it's like we have information at our fingertips, connectivity.
But is that information good?
Yeah, it's also bad because a lot of the time the information's false. A lot of the time it's because it's trying to sell you a scam, and it's even dangerous to you, like financially dangerous or something like that. And then on top of that, it's like, connectivity is good, but when does connectivity not become good? When it's to the point where like actually there's like a normal amount of human engagement, and then anything past that doesn't actually feel good. You almost like feel like minorly harassed, and could it even be like stressful, but you almost feel maybe even pressured to reply or whatever. So when is it like, you know what I mean? It's like, obviously there are pros and cons for everything in life.
Kids, like I that mindless scrolling or just checking your phone all the time. Like I do it. I'm just so used to doing it. And we've like, me and Meg have had chats, and like we've got to put the phone somewhere. We've got to limit it, or like I don't want Ruben just looking at doing something and then looking at something. We're just sitting there on our phones. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like not good for them to see as much.
Apparently it is really bad for kids as well, because it makes them feel like you're not present and they're not like interesting enough to you and stuff like that, which is obviously really bad.
You're more interested in your phone than you are of your child.
They're like trying to tell something, and you're like,
to just have a browse.
Yes,
and
mother. It's nice when you answer, not just look at your phone and go,
Is that like a personal vendetta you have against your mum?
Yeah.
Does your mum do that to you?
My mum does that all the time. If she's on her phone, you can't talk to her because she won't be listening. She can't do it at the same time.
Really?
It's phone or person, and she always chooses her phone.
Oh.
So.
Is she a bit of a doom
But it's so easy to get.
She also gets scammed all the time.
into it, isn't
it? She also gets scammed all the time.
Yeah. Timu warrior.
Meg deleted Instagram. Meg was proper into Instagram as well, and thing, but she's deleted it and Facebook for about like 3 months now, I reckon. And she's just saying she's feeling well better.
I'm not
life
surprised.
in general, because there's so much comparison and like as well with like everyone else's life, what they're doing, all this stuff. I can't do it because I love looking at all the guitars that come up on there and everything. It's just like so many cool things. You know what I mean? That's the good part.
I track my celebrities. Otherwise, how would I know that Louis Tomlinson had a tour? I wouldn't.
No, I know what you mean though. To an extent, it is like how you find out about things, isn't it? It's like find out that Megadeth have just got a new album. A new single out because follow them on Megadeth. Or
now on like on the send things.
And it is quite nice to see what your family and friends are up to. You know, like I've got quite a bit, like a big extended family. Mate, I wouldn't know what any of them are up to, or I'd ever talk to them really if it wasn't for like Facebook. Do you know what I mean?
How would I become super famous social media influencer without social media?
There you go.
Exactly.
That's a joke, guys. That's
exactly,
a joke.
Imo. Exactly.
That's a joke.
You are so funny. But like,
thank you. I'm here all day.
Yeah, I think with like little things like us, like even obviously like with this show and that, obviously like obviously we put it out on YouTube, and then put out on Instagram as well, and like some clips here and there, and just like share like things that of like topics of similar stuff that we would talk about on PB, like on stories and stuff like that. So it's like even that, it's like hard for us to get rid of stuff like that, And I mean, and as I said, I do like following certain bands and certain like topics I'm into. So I follow like experts of the topics I'm into, because then obviously that will make me better at the things I'm into. And obviously that makes sense. Like I'm sure you follow loads of luthier guys and obviously like guitarists and stuff like that. And then it gives you like tidbits of information that'll make you better. So it's really, really useful in some ways, but it's also just really annoying in other ways.
Yeah, and like that thing of maybe like I like this idea of like having an hour, or actually rather than like mindlessly
like a
unconsciously
designated
doing something,
time.
like just because I just pick it up whenever I'm not doing something, or like in between stuff I'll just have a bit of a browse or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like it's quite unconscious, it's quite just like just doing it. But if you've got a bit of a time that you set out for it, and then say like family time is family time, and I don't even have my phone, that's probably better for me to do that like sometimes, because otherwise I'll just sit there and just unconsciously pick it up and just start scrolling and looking at cool stuff. But then it's like, I
think it just does get a bit overwhelming as well. And obviously it's like great to have like people in your life that you like have good communications with and stuff like that. But then it's like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not always like this. Some days I'll go like days in a row where I'll like hardly have messages from anyone. But then sometimes it will just so happen that like in one day I'll almost have like 4 or 5 like conversations going on with different friends and family members all in like the same day. And that can get overwhelming quick, especially if you're like working, you're applying to work emails as well, you're working, doing other stuff, you're trying to like do your hobbies, whatever that hobby might be. You got like a family, you're trying to be present for your family, you got like work to do at home, like domestic jobs and stuff like that. And then it's like, I'm trying to message back like, certain mates and stuff like that, and you almost like don't want to leave them hanging for too long. And do you know what I mean? It's almost like, whoa, it's almost like stimulation overload, and you just are a bit like, oh, do you know what I mean? Because like you don't want to leave people hanging, but at the same time you're like, oh man, it's like it's quite a big, almost like commitment, like in a way, it sounds like a funny thing to say, but just to reply to everyone, it's like a bit of a commitment.
It's effort.
Yeah. But I think it's good as long as you have that understanding. Like me and Josh take like a week to get back to each other, like every time we message each other, but we just know the other one's like, you know what I mean? There's no pressure. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's cool.
Yeah,
it's
that's
cool.
the best way, isn't it? Man?
Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, we're not messaging each other we don't work together. There's no like professional anything. It's like, literally, it's just like, do you know what I mean? So there's no urgency. There's no sense of urgency. And we know that the other one's not going to be a bit like, why haven't they messaged back yet? Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, we'll get back to it at some point. It might be a day, it might be a week, but we will at some point. That's cool.
Yeah, best way.
This is verified. This is good information, guys. A man set a new Guinness World Record for the longest non-stop fart.
That was me.
Was it you?
Yeah.
Is it Henry?
Yeah, Henry Wheeler. Yeah, because I think he actually told us like who had the current one back at the when they came on years ago, didn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently a man has officially broken the Guinness World Record with an unbelievable 40-second long non-stop fart. The jaw-dropping blast, both shocking and hilarious, has left audience around the world in disbelief.
No way 40 seconds is the longest one. There's definitely been a longer one.
You reckon you could fart longer than that?
Definitely.
What, non-stop?
Now, when I was little, honestly...
but non-stop, that's a long time.
Yeah, trust me, I've probably beat that when I was
I feel like a 5-second fart non-stop is a pretty long fart. Because most of them are just like, aren't they? And then every now and again, you might like really like titter to yourself and whoever's in the room.
My
dog's you might be like,
probably broke it.
And then you're like, yeah, that was a pretty funny one.
Farts are funny.
But like, I think 40 seconds, imagine actually counting like 1 in 1,000, 2 in 1,000,
that.
3 in 1,000, 4 in 1,000, 5 in 1,000. Do you know what I mean? That's quite a long fart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a little bit too long.
Yeah. So it's
that might be the only Guinness World Record that could be broken.
I think the guy did it on stage into a microphone, which is even better, isn't it?
Are you sure he didn't just poo himself?
Disinfect that microphone.
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine like straight away going up afterwards and like having to like sing a song into it.
He just sharted instead.
You'd almost need something that's giving you gas, like something fermenting in your belly.
Yeah.
Like,
do you reckon
giving you more as you go?
Do you reckon he did that like to be really strategic? Do you reckon he found like Do you reckon he found like certain foods and stuff to eat that would help him achieve his goal?
Beans,
loads of
leeks,
beans. Yeah, beans
He went,
make
"I'm
me
a celebrity."
so farty. Like
I
mad
think
Beans.
leeks do for me.
leeks.
I think so because Meg
That's
did
so
this like
specific.
McDonald's.
she did this like casserole the other day, and it was like chicken thighs and just like carrots and just the normal stuff that you'd have in like a real nice casserole. But it had But I was thinking, what the hell is it about that? Because we both got the real bad farts from it, and we were like, what is it in there? And the only thing I could think of was
Maybe-
loads. She put loads of leeks.
Maybe
in
that's why it's called leak.
Mm.
Leaky
it.
anus.
Yeah, it gives you leaky gut.
Gives you leaky anus syndrome. That's why. Never really thought about why leeks are called leeks before, but there you go.
Leaky.
Leaky gives you a leaky butt.
Leaky.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy, isn't it? Do you guys want to hear a cool little mystery? This is quite a good one, actually. I quite like this. So this is set in the mountain town of Silver Plume, Colorado, and this is that town is home to one of America's most chilling twin disappearances. In 1987, a man called Tom Young, who was a local shopkeeper, vanished without a trace after leaving work with his dog. For nearly a year, the mystery lingered until hunters stumbled upon their remains high in the mountains. The cause appeared to be a gunshot wound, suggesting Tom had maybe taken his own life, but some people suggest foul play, and other people hypothesize other strange things, even supernatural causes. But strangely, the story does not end there, and that's where things get really intriguing. Months later, a man called Keith Reinhard, who was a newspaperman from Chicago seeking a new life, decided to rent Tom's old shop. Fascinated by the town mystery, he began writing a novel about Young's disappearance. On August the 7th, or the 7th of August as we would say in the UK, 1988, Reinhard closed his store for the evening, intending to take a short hike. However, he never returned, and despite one of the largest search and rescue operations in Colorado's history, no trace of him was ever found. The eerie parallels, two men, the same shop, both vanishing, have fueled speculation for decades. Some suggest coincidence, others point to darker theories. The case remains one of Colorado's enduring unsolved mysteries. Reinhardt's search involved over 125 people, dogs and helicopters, yet yielded absolutely no evidence, making it one of the most baffling wilderness disappearances in modern times. So yeah, the second dude, Keith Reinhardt, he basically disappeared off the face of the earth.
He probably got eaten by something.
No remains
and the
ever
first
found.
guy.
Yeah.
Did you say he went with his dog?
Yeah.
And they were both found there.
So
Or
I
was
think
it
I
just
think
him
the
or
man
something?
was found, but I'm not sure about the dog.
Because I
Aw.
thought that was weird if like the dog was dead as well
Yeah.
in there, just like
Oh no, sorry. It does say
Okay.
sorry. They just say it's found their remains, but I find that a bit weird because like,
Yeah.
say he took his own life, pretty harsh to
So-
shoot your dog, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but some dogs are so loyal that they would have just stayed there until they died as well, of like starvation. or
I guess
whatever.
that could have.
But that must have been-
But don't you think that's a really brutal thing for him to do? Like almost like
Nah, they'd eat the
leaving
human.
his dog, like
Oh,
just
yeah,
almost like to
savage.
fate. You'd think that you'd be like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? You'd think that like you'd be.
You'd leave them around your sister-in-laws or something.
Exactly.
Like, before you go and.
That's what I was going to say.
know,
Like you'd find
take
like
your own life.
a family member or a friend. You'd be like, oh, can you look after my dog just for a couple of hours? So that then, they would at least do something humane with it rather than just... Because otherwise you're almost like sealing that poor dog's fate as well. And obviously most people
Yeah.
really love their pets. So that's almost like... Just because, say, you want to take your life, quite brutal to assume you're just going to like kill your dog as well, isn't it?
Did you hear about
Even if you
those
don't do it
dachshunds
directly.
that ate their human?
Ate their human. I love the way that you just
Yeah.
described it. They ate their human.
She
No.
was like, I think it was like dead in her house for like a month or so, and they've just found out that found her body with her, then her like been eaten by her two dachshunds.
So she was an old lady that died.
I don't know, but
She died in her house and basically her
someone's
dachshunds
died in their house,
and
and
her
their
dachshunds
dachshunds
just-
just eaten them.
just ate them.
Yeah,
That's brutal, isn't
It
it?
takes a while for them to do it. Apparently, dogs.
they gotta be
they're
like
one of the
really
longest.
starving.
Yeah,
Cats will do
they'll,
it
like, leave
first.
the longest.
Cats will do it before.
They say that cats will do it before, don't they?
Mm.
First. I almost like...
My cat would. He's fat.
I struggle to imagine like any of the cats I've ever had like eating my corpse.
If cats are so like food orientated. If my cat, if
I don't think
Casper
cats
didn't
are
have-
as food orientated as dogs.
My cat is. Casper, Coco not so much. Casper, if he sits at me and looks when I'm eating, he looks at me like I'm the food. If I give him a treat, I've given him a treat before, he's bitten my finger instead of the treat, and I'm like, well, my finger's not the treat. He's like, he would eat me if
some
he could.
cats are really greedy. I think that, like, especially if you get cats conditioned to having lots of treats and stuff. Because I noticed, like, my mum's cats, like, she gives them way more treats and stuff, and they are, like, quite greedy now. Whereas my cats are a bit more well behaved. Like, don't get me wrong, they love their food, but they're not quite so, like, savage with it.
Yeah, I think his is because we've had him for we had him for 11 years, and then we got I think we had him for 12 years, and then we got my other cat, Coco. And I think because he now thinks he has to compete with her, he's constantly like just being really greedy and like snatching everything. We gave him a bit of chicken the other night, and he grabbed it so fast that half of it fell in the water bowl and the other half just fell on the floor, and he just ran away and started growling. Like, nobody's trying to take it from you. Who are you running from? My dog was sat there eating hers. Coco was in her bowl eating her food. She won't even go near his bowl because they're like a joined bowl, like two bowls. She stays the complete opposite side so that he's comfortable. My dog couldn't care less. So,
yeah, it always makes me laugh if I give, like, my cat Lily some, like, leftover meat or something, because I think, you know, they definitely do like leftover meat more than cat food. Yeah. Which is not surprising because it's actual proper food, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
smells better too, doesn't it?
Yeah, if I ever give it to Lily and, like, Pancho's, like, nearby and he's almost, like, approaching or something, she always goes like she chews on it, and while she's chewing she goes while, like, stogging him out, and it always cracks me up so much.
It's like, get away from me.
And, like, just while she's, like, chewing it, and it's
my cat
so
growls
fun.
whenever she enjoys food.
Yeah.
My youngest cat's just a bit like dopey. She wags her tail. When she's happy, she wags her tail, which usually that's what they do when they're annoyed. She also, whenever she's comfortable, she'll go like this, just like in the air, and she'll like smile at you. And whenever she's enjoying her food, she'll growl. So if she really likes her food, she'll start going.
Nice.
And it's like, okay, go.
Solid
what
noise.
Are you doing?
Solid noise.
She also is really stupid. Like, she's very bad with balancing and stuff like that. She came up behind the sofa the other day and fell off of it.
Oh, bless her.
Yeah, it's just a bit stupid. She's like really stupid. She also catches animals, brings them in, because she's my other cat do it. But she won't eat them, and she also won't kill them. So she just bring them in alive, then sit there looking at us like, well, what do I do now?
Yeah, cats often do that, but they think they're bringing you presents.
Yeah, but my other cat doesn't. At least he kills them.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't bring them in alive, and then we have to try and catch them.
My cat Scrags used to do both. We don't.
Yeah, my cat one of them eats them, the other one leaves them alive.
We monitor our cats coming in and out because it used to annoy me so much. Like, because Scrags had brought in like massive live rats.
Yeah.
Literally once brought a bird into our room in like the middle of the night, and then just let the bird go, and it's like flying around the freaking room.
They definitely find it funny.
Mate, it was well annoying. It was well annoying.
He was like, super stressed trying to sort it out.
Can you imagine like the adrenaline rush of like
the
having to
night,
catch this bird? And then by the time I'd finally caught it and then got it outside, I was like buzzing, so it was like really hard for me. It took me like ages to get back to sleep, and then it was like, you know, your alarm goes off like half an hour later, and you're just like in a really bad mood all day. So yeah, that sucked.
Not a good one.
Do you guys want to hear another intriguing little mystery?
Yes.
So in 1990, a young woman named Tonya Hughes was found critically injured on the side of a highway in Oklahoma City. She died days later, leaving behind a husband and a young son. But when police began investigating her death, they discovered something far more disturbing. Tonya Hughes didn't exist. Every document, every ID, every name she'd ever used was fake. Her husband, Franklin Delano Floyd, wasn't really her husband. He was a fugitive and convicted kidnapper who had abducted her decades earlier when she was a child. The woman everyone knew as Tonya was actually called Suzanne Mary Savakis, who had vanished in the 1970s after Floyd took her from her mother while her mother was in jail. He had raised her as his daughter, moving her across the country under false names before later marrying her. Together they had a son called Michael Hughes, who vanished after her death. It took over 20 years, DNA testing and an FBI task force to finally uncover Suzanne's real identity. Eventually, Franklin Floyd was caught and sentenced to death for his various crimes. He later also confessed to murdering his son, Michael Hughes, whose body was never found. So that's pretty freaking crazy, don't you think?
Mental story. Yeah.
That is a mental story, isn't it?
He kidnapped a kid,
Yeah.
raised her, and then married her.
Married,
That's
yeah,
just, like,
was like a
mental in
nomad, so he was just traveling across the US, and just anybody that come across, he'd say that it was his daughter until she like reached her 20s. Then he married her, and then they had a kid, and then she eventually. One thing I think is quite interesting though, at least in what I found, maybe some friends of the pod could do some digging. It doesn't say why she was critically injured when the police found her. Obviously the story says,
why did she die?
in 1990 that she was found at the side of the road critically injured. It doesn't say why. So to be fair, I didn't actually do a lot of digging into if that information is available or not. But and also I think this is a really interesting case of what I assume is Stockholm syndrome as well, because it seems like to an extent
That's a One Direction song.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to an extent like she must have gone along with it. Because she must. I mean, surely she would have at some point been able to like reach out to somebody, after all those decades, or she married him and stuff. But she married him after being raised almost like as his daughter. Like after.
Is she just as weird as him then?
She must have. I think she definitely would have been a very weird person. But
if you got, it depends of what age she was when she was kidnapped.
She must have been quite young, I think.
You know what I mean? Like, I think kids are so malleable then.
Yes.
Of like, you know what I mean? And the way
he just like had her for decades and decades, ever since she was like a little kid when he just first abducted her. So I guess like just whatever what is normal to you.
That would be normalized.
Yeah, exactly. What is normal to you is like whatever you've grown up with. So regardless of, and that's why it might seem like crazy to us that like there are like tribes of cannibals in the world, and especially historically, obviously there were a lot more back in the day. But like, well, if you're raised in a tribe of cannibals, then that's normal to you. If you're raised, it's like did you ever go watch like Ross Kemp on Gangs and stuff, and you'd like see him like interviewing like some like I can't remember if it was like Somalians or something, and he was like talking to those guys about rape. Did you ever see that?
No.
And they're all going on about how they just like have raped loads of women and stuff, and he's like, oh yeah, but like, don't you ever think about like the consequences of doing that? And they're like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And they're like, what do you think about? Do you ever think the consequences? And they're like, oh, well, yeah, like getting caught. Like, yeah, obviously, like we're worried about that. We don't want to get caught and stuff and that. And he's like, no, like the effects that could have on like on people and things like that. Like raping them. And he's like, and they're like, oh, what do you mean? Like, yes, I know. Like, I could accidentally get them pregnant or like I could get a sexually transmitted disease. And he's like, no, like the emotional effect it will have on somebody, like raping a woman, like that could destroy them mentally and like ruin their life. And they're actually just looking at him like, and they don't understand what he's getting at. They're going like, oh yeah, like we could get caught. Obviously that worries us. Like we could get an STD that worries us.
But it's so
we don't want to get them pregnant.
That's just what they're like.
And he's literally like, how many women have you raped then? And he's like 5. And they're like, how many women have you raped? And they're all just saying, but they're saying it like the chillest conversation you've ever had. You can see Ross Kemp's like proper like what the hell, but like obviously it's his job obviously is to have these interesting conversations to give us like an insight into these people's way of lives. But I remember like watching that and I'm just thinking like, mate, that is messed up. Like they can't even comprehend really that it's like a messed up thing to do to them. And like they were just really like matter of factly they were like, yeah, if like a man needs to have sex, and if a man doesn't have sex, then it'll like ruin his day. So they were like, yeah, so like we'll do it and we'll help each other out. So like one of us will hold a knife to her and say like, don't scream or we'll kill you. That usually make them be quiet. And then the other one will like hold the legs. I'll hold the arms. And then the other one will like take their clothes off. And it's like, mate, the way that they're talking about it like they're describing going to the fish and chip shop. do you know what I mean? But it's like, yeah, but it's just like, as we were saying, like whatever.
There's so many things like that, I think, with different countries and cultures and stuff that I'm just like, I remember even Cami saying that like in Kazakhstan, it was a thing that you could get kidnapped and like a girl could get kidnapped by the man and like forced to marry and the family had to accept it and everything because it was just this thing that and it was from when on the horses they literally steal the thing and like ride off on the horse.
Mate, that's
and then
so
the
Genghis
family would
Khan,
just
isn't
have
it?
to accept it. I know.
That is so
And it's just
Genghis
like, you just
Khan.
have to accept it. It was like a normal thing, you know. And I'm like, well, that is
Mate,
just
that's
weird.
just
Or
grab
like-
the woman,
or like,
put her
you know,
on the
they get,
horse,
like,
ride off,
yeah,
marry.
or like the Islam stuff, like with them like marrying kids and that, you know, and just like
Oh, man, it's
it's
sick, innit?
disgusting, you know.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, oh man, I saw a video the other day of
so normal to them.
a woman in Germany, and she recorded it on her phone, and it was like this this
Little
guy.
kid kissing the guy. I saw that.
Oh no, it wasn't
But-
that, but that is
Oh.
disgusting. That is so disturbing, man. But it was
Yeah.
it was just this like woman, and she just started filming it in the park because this guy came up to her and he was like, "Give me sex." And she was like, "What?" And it's like in German, but it's like it's like subtitles and that, and yeah, and this other German guy, like, like just ends up coming over and helping her in the end, and he calls the police and stuff. But he's like being so aggressive with her. She's filming it on her phone, I guess, for like protection and evidence. And he's like, "Give me sex." Just comes up to her in the park. He's like, "Give me sex." And she's like, "What the hell are you on about? I'm not going to have sex with you. Like, leave me the hell alone." And he's like, "No, you like, if I say give me sex, you need to give me sex and stuff." And she's like, "What?" She's like, "No, that's not how this works. Like, what the hell are you on about?" And then this guy comes over because he sees he's being aggressive to her and stuff. And he's like, "Go away." And he's like, "No, you should know as a man. Like, you should know as a man that if we ask a woman for sex, they should give us sex." And he's like, "If you don't, that's on you. If you don't understand that, then that's on you. But this is the way it is.
Yeah.
This is the normal way it is." And the guy's like, "No, this isn't the normal way it is. Like, like this."
At least there's good people out there.
Yeah, definitely. But it's mad. Talking about that, what you were saying though. It was along the same lines. Did you see that? I told you guys last week about that statement that the NHS put out about freaking, like, essentially about interbreeding and how there were like benefits to cousin. And apparently the NHS have took that down. Like,
Good.
they've taken that down because of the amount of backlash. But apparently, since then, a new bill was put forth because it was controversial. So a lot of people in like the House of Commons and stuff basically tried to put through a bill banning cousin marriages in the UK, and Keir Starmer's blocked the bill.
Oh man.
Why would you
It
block
just
the
gets
bill?
worse and
Why
worse
would
and
you block
worse,
that?
doesn't it?
Why would you block
Yeah.
interbreeding? Like, we all know that interbreeding's messed up. Not only is it sort of like gross, but it's also, we know that it leads to like birth defects, disabilities, mental and physical handicaps. Why
Well, it's
on
obviously
earth would
to
you?
not upset Muslim people in it? I guess because like it's so prevalent.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
I've got the article up here, but it says, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer is facing criticism after reportedly blocking a proposed bill that would ban first cousin marriages in the United Kingdom. Critics say the move disregards growing public health concerns tied to genetic disorders linked to such unions, whilst supporters of the Prime Minister argue the legislation unfairly targets specific ethnic and religious communities. Oh my God, that even winds me up even saying that. The renewed debate comes after Conservative MP Richard Holden reintroduced a proposal in Parliament last week calling for legal restrictions on cousin marriages. He said a marriage between first cousin carries significant health issues, many of which aren't even knowable until post-birth, Holden said during the debate. When practiced generation after generation, there is a significant multiplier effect, and multiplying the disabilities and the defects amongst the children. Holden cited medical research showing higher risks of child defects in birth, in children born to closely related parents. He also raised concerns about women's rights and social pressure within certain communities, saying the practice has real impacts on the openness of our society. Also raising concerns about how a lot of these things happen behind closed doors, as in like an older male relative might force essentially a younger female relative into these sorts of unions, and they don't really have say in the matter. And because it's happening behind closed doors in the UK, most people are none the wiser, yet these awful things are happening. And a bit like what we were saying earlier, Stockholm Syndrome, the women oftentimes don't even realise how messed up it is, because to them it's kind of normal, even though they're growing up in the UK, because it's happening behind their closed doors and that, it's like they didn't realise that to most households in the UK that would be like barbaric and weird and like, the ruling Labour Party, Prime Minister Keir Starmer, and apparently several other MPs reportedly opposed the bill, arguing that education and community engagement, not criminalisation, are better approaches. So, a load of rubbish, isn't it? That's crazy, isn't it?
It's mad as well, like how many, the thing about population like decline and that, and people not having kids as much, but then cultures like more, like say Muslim cultures and that, like have loads
like
of kids,
8 to 10 kids,
and it's almost like, God, numbers wise, because of we're not really.
Give it like 2 generations.
As much.
Give it like 2 generations, mate.
That's quite a scary thought,
Oh,
isn't
mate,
it? Like,
give
even
it
though
30
some of
years.
these things like are barbaric and like just not right, like that it could just become normal because of numbers.
Yeah. Oh, mate, yeah.
Like,
give it like 30 years, and the whole landscape will just be completely different. How do you feel, Drew? Like personally, about the fact that like such a high, or like what are your thoughts about the fact that so many people of our age range and our generation just aren't having kids? Like, what do you think about
that? I didn't realize it was such a big issue until like more recently. I watched the thing on trigonometry, actually, a podcast, and it was a guy who was talking about it, and the guy lives in Japan, and he was talking about that over in certain places in Korea and like Japan and that, say like sales of nappies, there's more sales of adult nappies than there is of child's nappies.
Oh, because
there's more,
such an aging population.
And there's and people aren't having kids, and there's more sales of pets buggies, of people putting pets in strollers than actual children's strollers, because more people are just having pets rather than having kids and stuff. And he was talking about so it was more from a Japanese perspective, but like he was talking about like streets and stuff, and like real examples of it, but he was saying it's happening all over the West and all over, and I just didn't think of it as much of an issue. But then when you actually, I think of like my generation, and like loads, like I got like one kid, but like even like my mum and dad like had me when they were 25, and they had like 3 kids. My nan and granddad had like 3 kids, 4 kids, 3 kids, and from when and it was earlier, it was always earlier as well in life and stuff. And this guy was even talking about it with social interactions, and how like, because we have so much choice now, there's almost like too much choice, and we've got this idea of we've got later to have kids, we can have kids at a later time, and everything. But a lot of the time,
or like maybe we will, maybe we won't. But then it's like almost if you have that attitude, it's probably not. It's probably going to be won't.
And then maybe you can. And so a lot of people then don't have the choice to, or IVF and everything. But it's like, he was kind of saying back in the day you'd have kids a lot earlier, and you'd have more, and it was kind of good for everybody. It was good for communities, it was good for the way that we all live together and everything like that. And it's just changing now. It's like, but then it's becoming like almost like more dehuman as well, like with the whole integration of technology and that. It's like, it's all a bit weird, mate, and I think it definitely is an issue.
I agree, and it's weird because I mean I've only really even spent the time to think about it, taken the time to think about it in the last sort of like year, I guess, or even more seriously, like even more recent than that, like probably the last couple of months. But I think I'm actually developing like fairly strong opinions on it, because it is concerning to me. And I remember saying before, and I think because it's a very easy way for us to think about it. So like even if you say like take like me, you, and say like let's just say for argument's sake, just like Nikki C and Josh, right? And then take all of our parents and imagine them at our age. The total combined children between all of them would have been 2 for my family, me and my brother Sam, Nikki C, him and his brother Chris. It would have been 3 kids in your household, so that's 7. And then at our age, I don't know if Dawn and Kev would have already had Bullwinkle when they were 35, but let's just say 2. Let's just say 2 to be argument's sake, so that'd be more conservative. So that'd be 9 kids, whereas between the people I just mentioned, so the kids, me, you, and Nikki C, there's 3. So there's 3 kids we've produced in the same amount of time compared to 9. So that's 3 times less, than kids. And that's just between 4 people. And I think it's very weird. And I don't really know what to make of this, but I don't know what it is about our generation, the way that we were brought up, that it's almost like a lot of people think that having kids is almost, some people almost think that having kids is almost like a bad thing, like a negative thing. And some people are just so nonchalant about it. They've just almost decided that like, no, I don't really want to do it, because like I'd rather do something else.
We we didn't have to grow up as quickly as our like families did. When I think of like the life that like say my dad had and like my mum had and stuff, like, and the things that they did and everything, it just seems like our like we didn't have to be at that stage by the time they were at that stage back along, you know. You know, and even when I just think of the way that my parents were when, you know, I know they were 25 when they had me, and I think, oh, I couldn't imagine having a kid when I was 25, you know, like the headspace I was at, you know. And I'm like, I don't know, were we raised in like, I think society so different that we were just like raised I think for different in our minds.
I think the only thing I can sort of like conclude is that for some reason we were brought up with less emphasis on a sense of responsibility. So like the way I'm thinking of it more now as I'm getting older, is I think that it's almost like a responsibility to your society to have children. I don't think obviously that should be like a rule.
That to me when I was 25, I'd have been like, what?
Yeah, I don't get me wrong. I don't think that. I don't think
responsibility is to put petrol in my car and get wasted.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I obviously don't think that should be like an enforced rule in any way, shape, or form.
But an educated rule.
And I think that you should be like bringing up your generations.
That's what Farmer and that should be doing instead of doing it with education. Like educate this stuff. You know?
Yeah. Because I think that like now, as you said, we've gotten to this state where so many people in our age range either haven't had kids or are never planning to have kids, like Willie and Josh, loads of other people, you know. And it's like, it's almost like, as a result, you're not putting new people back into society. And I feel like it's almost like a give and take thing, isn't it? It's like your parents gave birth to you, so you can live this life, and then you get to a certain age and you have a partner, you know, that you're like ready to have kids with, and then you sort of then complete the cycle again. And as I said, I don't think this should be like a rule that should be like enforced in any way. I don't like you know, forced breeding, but at the same time, I think that it should be like a normal thing. Do you know what I mean? And I think we should have been brought up with almost more encouraged to do it, to take that to actually that it is almost like a responsibility to society. Because again, say what you want about the Islamic community, they very much do see it as a responsibility, and as a result, they are having all these kids, which is why in 30 years' time, maybe we'll be the minority rather than them. But in a way, I think that's kind of a shame, not because for the pure reason, for like a cultural reason, because we have such a rich history. Earlier on, we were talking about, you know, the history of England going all the way back to Hastings and Stamford Bridge, and we were going before that talking about like, you know, Lindisfarne and, you know, and about how our language is like a mishmash of like, you know, like Latin and, you know, Latin, French and all these stuff like that. And it's like, if we go, that culture's dead, that history is dead. So in that regard, that almost makes me feel like that's a shame. That's like sad, you know. That's, you know. So, but it's weird that like, you know. So it's like it is our responsibility to carry that on, but it's just there's people just aren't having enough kids, man. You know.
Do you reckon it's because people are scared though, because like everything costs so much now and stuff like that. So it's
there's loads.
I mean,
like,
I think
it's expensive to have kids.
I think there is an element of that, but at the same time, I think
also scared for the actual whole being not feeling like the responsibility.
I think there's an element of that, but at the same time, I think people uncannily find a way to spend money on the things that they want to, if it's a big enough priority. It's like when the Black Sabbath farewell tickets went on sale, and it's like they were so ludicrously expensive. Yeah, I know for a fact that like a lot of people that you would say just see down the cobbles, which, you know, I assume, you know, a lot of them
had to get some.
aren't wealthy people by any you know, sense of the imagination, but like they were somehow finding the money to get it. Or it's like you find drug addicts, even like unemployed drug addicts, they're somehow finding a way to fund their like drug habit, which in some cases could be like 50 to 100 quid a day, maybe even more than that. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? They somehow find a way to get the money for that. So what I'm getting at is you will find a way to find money for whatever it is you're passionate about. You know, whether that's going to gigs, whether that's
enough to have kids.
Yeah.
Like, you want that. You know?
Well, do you see that as a big enough like priority? You know, if you're really into cars, you'll be spending that money on that brand new whatever it is, supercharged whatever it is, regardless of the tax and the fuel costs. No, exactly. You know, if you're into gigs, you'll be willing to fork out those hundreds and hundreds of pounds a month for the gigs. You know, whatever it is.
And if you're into children,
Yeah, do you know what I mean? But it's
you
like
can make that.
I don't know. It's like I
That
think
sounded really creepy, didn't it?
no, it's all right. I think that under the context of what we're talking about, I understand it. But yeah, I do think it's almost like a bit of a shame. I can only ponder what it is about our generation that doesn't seem to be taking that so seriously.
I remember thinking I always want to have kids, but I never felt ready. And I know people say, "Oh, you'll never feel ready."
Yeah.
So just
I think there's a lot of truth to that.
And yeah, but like I really couldn't imagine it at the time because of like mentally and all this stuff, and just like and just not feeling like grown up enough. But the gifts that it gives you after you've had it, like I'm I do really think it changes you as a person.
Yeah, I do
and
too.
It makes you more responsible and stuff like that. And I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
If it's almost like a forced responsibility, and if you're a decent person, you'll take that responsibility with in
your stride,
just as a matter of fact, in your stride.
Yeah.
Like rather than because I do and
rather than running away from it.
Part of it, if people have kids and they're not ready for it, and then they treat that kid like crap, like that's a whole that's
different kettle of fish.
Like so if you are gonna have a kid,
then
like, make sure that you can stand up to the responsibility of it.
Yeah.
And I think some people aren't ready to do that, and like I've seen loads of examples.
It's sink or swim, isn't it?
When people are like dragged up rather than brought up, and it's because their family doesn't want them and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree, man. I think it's sort of sink or swim being a parent, and I think that but yet again, I mean that's another issue that we can debate and ponder. That's under the same sort of umbrella. So it's like, not only are people not having enough kids, but also why are a lot of people that are not taking that responsibility seriously? Like their inclination is to run rather than embrace it, which is but
it makes you a better person when you do embrace it. Like, I feel.
I think 100%, man. And I think it's one of those like tests in life, isn't it? It's like there's certain things that you're gonna go through in life that'll almost be like a test, and you're only gonna get to really to take that test once. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you want to do good first time, really. Yeah. So it's like you got to embrace that. But I completely agree with you as well, and I feel like I can completely sympathize and understand that to people that haven't had kids, it might almost be annoying to hear this statement. But what you were saying, Drew, about like how it does change you as a person and stuff, and obviously you wouldn't know that until you actually had a kid. And I feel like it might be an annoying statement to hear if you haven't had kids, you never plan to hear it, like, oh, these guys with kids, and then just for some reason going on about having kids, like, oh yeah, well, I don't want to have kids, whatever. But at the same time, like, one thing, I don't know if you feel like this, I almost feel like it's such a unique kind of bond and sort of like unique kind of love that like you can't really compare it to anything else.
I just want to see what a mini me looks like.
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's that, and there's that. But it's like you almost feel like you are frustrated as a parent to the people that aren't going to have them because you know that they're never going to experience what that's like. And I almost feel like they don't realise it, but they are missing out. That's how I feel about it. Like they might think that they've got it easier because like, well, we've got more money to spend on my hobbies. I don't have to like look after this kid and stuff. Like, yeah, but like you're missing out on such an insanely massively fulfilling part of your life. That's literally ingrained into our genetic code to be fulfilling, because it's like the whole point of us. Say like every time you freaking get the horn on, why do we get the horn? We get the horn because we've genetically evolved to have that so that we will have kids. And the same way that that's a really fulfilling thing and a really driving force of like every human being, it's also ridiculously fulfilling to actually have that kid, to see the fulfillment, to see the full circle of that, not just the initial part of it, but to see the full circle of that, where you actually then have the child be born and then get to witness its stages going from like the little chubby bold stage to then actually like seeing their first movement.
Chubby bold
and then,
stage.
you know what I mean? And at first they just don't even say anything. It's like, and then, and then seeing all these different parts of their development through to their first words. And when they start to talk, and it's like each stage of that is so fulfilling.
And then to them having their own kids.
Well, yeah. And also that's another thing as well, because I mean, it's interesting because, like say Emily's great aunt and great uncle, so they never have had kids, and they always said to Emily's grandparents, it's just because they just wanted to that freedom and they wanted to have fun, so they would always be going on like these caravan holidays, and he had quite a good job, Emily's great uncle Les, so and he inherited loads of stuff as well, so he was like always a wealthy man, so they were like living it really good. But it's almost like every year, or if not year, every decade they got older, it's almost like they suffered more for their decision. And it's to the point where nowadays, now that Leslie unfortunately has passed away of cancer and that Sylvia's the only one left, if it wasn't for the fact that she had a decent brother who had kids and grandkids, she would be like screwed essentially, because like Stan, her brother, Emily's grandparents do her like food shopping. Like Emily goes over there once a week and like cleans her house for her because she's like, got a couple of medical issues and stuff like that. Emily's mum helps her out as well. That whole court case that happened a couple of years ago because Leslie died of medical negligence, I took complete care of that for them. But it's like, if it wasn't for the fact that her brother decided to have a family and had kids and grandkids, like she would be screwed. Yeah, she would be at the mercy of like, hopefully the NHS will sort out some sort of carer who wouldn't really have the same incentive or like to care for her. Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, and that's the problem, isn't it? Yeah,
might be
have the same connection.
She'd sort of be at the mercy of whoever it was to an extent, and they might ended up being a really bad carer, and it might have made her really upset or something. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it is. I think that like, especially as you get older, you will appreciate it, and I think it does. I mean, even like the other day, like on Sunday, I drove to Heathrow to pick up my mum from the airport. It's like, if my mum hadn't had kids, who would have picked her up? Because my old man wouldn't have really wanted to. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's just like, because he's in his mid-60s now, and he just didn't really want to do it. But I was like, yeah, of course I'll put you on, mum, no worries, Yeah. But it's a big chunk of your Sunday going to London and back just randomly in the morning, you know what I mean? But it's like, if you have kids, they're obviously, I mean, assuming you haven't got some deadbeat kid, they're like, your kid will be happy to do that for you. And as you get older, your grandkid might be happy to do it for you. Do you know what I mean? Like, little jobs. Whatever
I'd go
it might
anywhere
be
to help my nan.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? But that's but yet again, do you know what I mean? But like, if your nan didn't have kids and as a result didn't have grandkids, she wouldn't have anyone to help her.
Oh, she'd be so lonely without me.
Yeah,
I'm the password child.
What does that mean?
I'm all of her passwords.
Oh, well, don't say that.
Oh no, because obviously it's not just my name, is it? It's not just my name. It's just something to do with me. It's just something to do with me.
2007.
No, how do you know it's my name?
Imogen 2007.
Maybe it's something key that's happened between mine and my nan's.
That's the year you were born, right? 2007. Is that right?
Yeah, you don't know.
Pretty sure it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, there you go, everyone. And we'll leave it on that note. So, everyone, log on.
Sorry, Nan.
Oh yeah, cheers, everyone. We're going to wrap it up. We've gone over 2 hours, so we best wrap things up. But cheers for listening to another PB, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't already, please go give us a follow on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. Pandora's Box podcast. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Have a great week, and we shall see you next time. Ta-ta for now.
Bye-bye.
Ta-ta.